would continue, like Social Security benefits and mail delivery, but national parks and museums would likely close.
Both sides seem to be digging in their heels. While Republicans want current spending levels to remain, Democrats are pushing for the reversal of some health care cuts and tax credits. The Senate may vote later today on a budget bill before the deadline tonight. It is 70 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says look for cloudy skies today. The chance of a passing shower later on this evening as well. The high will only get up to about 80 degrees. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Fire crews in Austell worked through the night and into this morning to put out hot spots following a church fire there. Investigators say the fire broke out in the sanctuary building of Prayer City Eagle Chapel International Ministries along Joe Jerkins Boulevard. Water damage is reported at the building, but the fire chief says no one is seriously injured. Investigators remain on the scene this morning looking for a cause. Watching the FCC today as it considers a proposal that could allow state and federal prisons to jam the signals of contraband cell phones.
I won my first journalism award from a prison cell on a contraband cell phone.
Dr. Christy Perez says incarcerated people use smuggled phones for everything from exposing prison conditions to streaming shows.
We obviously want those cell phones to have those means of communication, to have those open channels. But a cell phone is the way to participate in the public forum.
But Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt tells me the phones let some detainees coordinate crimes like they're still free.
Certainly, we will create a safer internal environment behind the walls and a safer community outside the walls if we can get this cell jamming equipment.
Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
While he sees potential problems for his industry this year, the CEO of Atlanta-based Delta, Ed Bastian, predicts better skies for his airline and a main rival.
The Delta chief executive said expensive premium seats and resurging business travel will allow Delta and United to make the majority of the industry's profits. But beyond that, Bastian expects most U.S. airlines to lose money this year. The Delta CEO pointed to a difficult environment at the lower end of consumer spending. He spoke at an event with Fed Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
A source tells CBS News this morning Hamas is believed to be leaning toward accepting a proposal laid out Monday by the U.S. and Israel to end the war in Gaza. That plan says Hamas will play no role in Gaza's future. Correspondent Linda Gradstein says Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists Hamas is being isolated by the rest of the world.
He said the whole world is pressuring Hamas to accept the terms to bring back all the hostages while the Israeli army stays in Gaza. But the Trump plan does not envision the Israeli army remaining in the Strip indefinitely and calls for Israel to withdraw gradually.
The plan also calls for a peace board governing Gaza and chaired by President Trump. And today is the end of an era.
You've got mail.
AOL pulling the plug on dial-up service at the end of today. Tech contributor Ian Sherr calls it another sign of the times.
In fact, as satellite internet has gotten even better, the number of people who need dial-up is shrinking every year.
I miss that sound. He notes while it ends a more than 30-year run, AOL lives on, offering services including email, ID protection, and desktop support for paying subscribers. It's 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start on the roads. Triple team traffic. Here's Smiler Mark McKay.
We're going to still sound the gridlock alert, Judd, between Holly Springs and Woodstock on 575 southbound. Extreme delays of up to an hour still on 575. Express lane repair work being done live on the jam cam south of Sixes Road. Cannot get on the express lanes at Sixes Road. If you do and you own a Peach Pass, you can get back on at 92. But it's left over. Quite the mess, not only on 575, but on Bells Ferry and on Highway 5 as well. Into Midtown, downtown Atlanta now with Ashley Frasca.
A few moments ago, all lanes were held, but police still with a stalled vehicle on 7585 southbound before North Avenue. They're blocking a left lane, and that's just making the ride worse down from 85 South and Claremont Road. And connector northbound still pretty heavy up from 166 Langford Parkway. A crash in Buckhead lingering on Roswell Road south of Habersham Road. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and rumbles of thunder. Today's high near 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 83. Thursday, sunny and breezy with morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime high 78.
69 degrees right now in Stone Mountain, 69 in Kennesaw, 69 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
In hindsight, I probably should have taken today off, but it was such a big show. I said, I'm going to fight through the crud because I want to be here for this Tuesday edition of the Mark Arum Show. Famed astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson is going to join us live at 11:05. We've got Scott Slade joining us live. 5K day bonus blitz in just over an hour. I'm going to give you a keyword, chance to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. And of course, huge breaking news. We've got the looming government shutdown. We had the big meeting yesterday with President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Got an update on that horrific Michigan shooting. So I am under the weather. I'm going heavily on Deborah Green today, but it was such a big show. I wanted to be here, especially for our first guest joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, Secretary of State of the great state of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger. Secretary, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Oh, good morning, Mark.
I want to get into, as folks that listen to WSB know, you are now a gubernatorial candidate in addition to the sitting Secretary of State. But, you know, everyone listening knows of you and knows who you are. But in doing my research, I was like, well, I didn't really know much about you before your political career. Fascinating story from birth to Secretary of State of Georgia to now running for governor. Tell the folks listening what you did prior to politics.
I was in the construction business. I'm a licensed structural engineer, civil engineer, and contractor. We built a company called Tendon Systems. We did post-tension concrete structures, structural restoration, carbon fiber strengthening, so historical preservation, and then building new buildings, working with contractors like Holder Construction, Brasfield and Gorey, J.E. Dunn, and then working with concrete contractors. So we had about 150 employees and did up to 750 jobs a year, all through the Southeast and a few into the Midwest and some of the other parts. But mostly we were, Georgia and, close Southeast-based contractor. That's kind of what we did.
I know, Secretary, I know you're humble, so I'm going to say it for you. Wildly successful in the private sector. I mean, built an empire, literally built an empire, with so much success in the private sector. When did you decide to go into politics, and why did you decide to go into politics?
I ran for office in Johns Creek to be on city council. It was a new council. The first wave had come through, and I guess I was part of the second wave. And how do you improve where you live little bit by little bit and still run a business? And so I did that. And a few years later, I ran for the State House. And that's another thing you can do as a business owner, because there's 3 months there, but the rest of the year is off. It's never fully off, obviously, but you can still run a company. Bit by bit, my son Kyle was taking over more and more of the management of the company. So I ran for Secretary of State, made him the president. He did an awesome job. And this has been my full-time gig for the last 8 years. And just continue to work hard on licensing reform, obviously election improvements. It's now the safest place to vote in the entire country. You don't have to take my word for it. Fox News, on election night said Georgia and Florida run the best election in the entire country. He's half right. Georgia runs the best elections in the entire country. It's safe, photo ID for all forms of voting. So we've just been looking at how do we improve the process for corporations, professional licensing, securities and charities, and obviously elections. So I'm an engineer and I'm a problem solver and I like solving problems. I'm running for governor to make sure that our state stays affordable and safe for Georgia families.
Secretary, was politics always on your radar going back to college? Did you think, someday, or did that develop later in life?
Oh, I think we always talk about watch what goes up in Washington, D.C., and it's probably been a mess for so many years. Every once in a while, things, smooth out, and all of a sudden someone upsets the cart again, and, and someone's got to put all the marbles back into the bag. And so that's kind of what they're trying to figure out right now. But when you're a business owner, you got to run your business. You have 250 families that are, you have that responsibility. They're really counting on you to get it right. And so this is your main focus. But as you have the opportunity to really delegate that responsibility to a great team, then you have more time to really dedicate to public service. And this is what I do now. It's fun because when I think about where we are in Georgia, we're in a great position compared to so many other states. Governor Kemp's done just a fantastic job. If you look at the headwinds that he's had to put up with or had to really deal with, we had COVID, and then he had administration that didn't always see eye to eye. And he still somehow, Georgia's been very successful. So my focus is just continue on the success that we've had and then lean into, some of these new trends we're seeing, such as really reshoring American manufacturing back to America. It's going to be, for us in Georgia, it's going to be advanced manufacturing. We have to have a value-added twist to it, so it creates great-paying jobs. Great-paying jobs solve so many issues for so many people, because another big issue we have right now is affordability. And things never seem to go down in price, so we have to get incomes up. And you do that with really value-added industries. So we're very strong in fintech, very strong in aerospace. That's our number one export. Just look at other opportunities. And so that's what really will motivate me. And obviously, public safety. I live in one of the safest, cities in the state, if not the country. I think everyone should have that opportunity to live in a safe community with safe schools.
I'm not a historian, Secretary, but just looking at your term as Secretary of State, it had to be at least one of the most trying ever in the state of Georgia. A lot of stuff thrown at you. I would imagine wrapping up this latest term, you'd be like, all right, I'm worn out. I'm done with politics. But no, you decided to kick it up the next level and run for governor.
Yeah, I'm just getting started. Because what we've done is we've earned the trust of the voters of Georgia. Over 94% from a UGA poll showed that they trusted the election results. And in the world of working with people in holding elected office, trust is the real gold standard. When people trust you, they trust what your motives are, what you're really trying to build, then they're going to really give you, the approval to go ahead and let's do this. Let's try and let's further improve our state of Georgia. Let's bring more manufacturing back here, advanced manufacturing. Let's leverage already the existing things we have. For example, right now we have so many people that have PhDs in medical research are really strong in that. How do we leverage that? As we reshore manufacturing back in really the medical industry, high tech in that, then obviously you're going to see more, in the whole, the IT space.
Governor, Governor. Oh, I already preemptively calling you Governor. Secretary, excuse me. If memory serves correctly, you had the biggest margin of victory in the last election, which leads to me, you had a lot of crossovers from independents and Democrats. Are you expecting more support from the other side of the aisle in this gubernatorial race?
Well, I'm in a primary right now, and let there be no doubt, I am a conservative Republican. Always have been. Always will be. I think I was probably born that way. But I've always believed in hard work, but also I believe when people work hard that there should be a reward for that. My dad taught me that. He wanted to make sure that his guys in the construction business, he didn't mind paying people, very well when they worked hard. And he always built a strong team, in his business. And so I've got that philosophy. I think that hard work should be rewarded. I think ingenuity, that's the American spirit. And it always has been because people built huge empires, much larger than anything we've ever done. And I just salute those people. And so you really want people to have great opportunity. And I think we lean into that. And I think that's a conservative philosophy. I think that's something. And I also think public safety, I think honoring really the mission of our founders that we had laid out in 1776 is really important. So I really believe in the whole concept. I'm an elected public servant, and I want to give back to the people of Georgia.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. You mentioned the success that Governor Kemp has had in his 2 terms. Did you talk to the governor before you announced your candidacy? Did you give him a heads up that you were going to throw your hat in the ring?
Yes, I did. He's the governor, and I respect everything he's done. And he's been fun to watch. He's really done a great job, and I really like his style.
Got a semi-crowded field with a couple of big names in there. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, Attorney General Chris Carr. We have a Clark Dean just got into the race as well. What are you looking to differentiate yourself from the other candidates that are already in the race?
I'm a proven business owner. Trish and I, our very first business was actually a child care center. And it was really interesting because in the early 80s, we were coming off that sugar high of high inflation caused by a previous administration. Kind of sounds familiar. And so we were looking at what can we do? And so what we did is we sold our house, downsized to a fixer-upper, and took that money and invested everything, put a second on the fixer-upper, and we bought a daycare center. And the child care center was at 50% capacity. Tricia worked hard at filling it up, and I still kept my job in the construction business, but I was also then the maintenance guy on the weekends, yard guy, painting guy, everything that we had to do. And so we just worked it really hard for 3 years, and we doubled enrollment, and then we did a little addition, got up to 174 kids. And that really allowed me to really have the margin to jump out and start my own business. And that's what we've been doing. Started that in 1987 with a partner. And he had failing health, so I bought him out in 2000 and just continued on. And then my son joined me, and he just did a fantastic job as he continued to learn leadership. And I built a really strong team. And as governor, that's what you want, is someone that has a strong team of advisors. One person can't do it all, so you do need a strong team. I've learned that over my career in business. And so I'm a proven business leader. I've been signing the front of paychecks for a long, long time. And it's something we understand how important it is, the responsibility of holding an executive level position as a business owner, but also as your next governor. And as your next governor, no one will outwork me. I'll continue to really work hard and looking at how can we make Georgia just a little bit better, day by day, year by year. So at the end of the day, we have something great to look back on.
Secretary, final question. Folks want to find out more about you and your campaign. Is there a website set up somehow they can get more information?
Absolutely. It's bradfordgeorgia.com.
There you go.
bradfordgeorgia.com.
Bradford, the full Georgia or GA?
No, it's the full thing.
Okay.
Brad, and then FOR, Georgia.
All right. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Best of luck, my friend.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you as well. I really wanted to ask him, Deborah. Secretary, I just need 11,780 more listeners. That's all I need is 11,780 more listeners. The name, I mean, we'll talk politics with this throughout the week, but the name recognition, no offense to the other candidates, but every person in Georgia knows the name of Brad Raffensperger. And as I mentioned, he had the biggest margin of victory in his last election, bigger than President Trump, any other Republican victory in the state of Georgia. A lot of crossovers, Democrats and independents voting for him. I would venture to say not a fan of the MAGA crowd, but very curious to see what he's going to do. We should be getting some new poll numbers too from the AJC and the University of Georgia. But there he was, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. All right, we have this big meeting in Quantico right now. All the generals and admirals from the United States military all meeting. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressed the crowd. I'll tell you what he had to say to our military leaders after we find out what Mike Shields has to say about our traffic on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Live on the Jam Cam in Midtown Atlanta. I got to stall that vehicle in the second left lane right now. Georgia State Patrol and Hero units with this 7585 southbound just before North Avenue and Georgia Tech. And that's just putting extra pressure on your ride into Midtown on 75 South, which backs up at Morris Mill. 85 southbound, the delays start at Georgia 400. Speaking of delays, they continue out of Canton through Holly Springs due to the express lanes closed due to maintenance this morning, and they remain blocked as you try to get past Ridgewald Parkway. They open up, though, once you get to Highway 92. Then it's a good ride into Kennesaw and Marietta. This report is brought to you by the International Hot Rod Association. The International Hot Rod Association Endurance Hybrid, where the roar of the engine meets the torque of the wrench, building champions on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets at ihra.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
It's not as bad as it could be.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Hey, the ladies are at home. Let's smoke cigars.
Eric Von Hessler.
Some sort of cultural affirmation. Yes, I am this kind of man.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour, around-the-clock care. but I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
234 years ago today, Mozart's opera The Magic Flute premiered in Vienna. I have nothing to say about that, but every time I hear classic music, Deborah, I'm reminded of my grandfather. I used to go, he and my grandmother lived in Long Island, and we'd go there, and we'd be just hanging out in his garage. He had this big 2-car garage with no cars in it, just junk. And he'd have the radio on, and you just listen to classical music. So anytime I hear classical music, I'm like, oh, Grandpa Henry. Anyway, so Pete Hegseth, first of all, I'm really excited that we are getting to see what's going on at this big convention at Quantico with all over the world. Our top generals and admirals were called to Quantico, and I didn't know we'd get any chance to see what's going on. But we are. Apparently, there's a live stream, and I pulled this audio just before the show. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth talking to the generals and admirals.
Unrelenting and uncompromising in that pursuit. Not because we want war. No one here wants war. But it's because we love peace. We love peace for our fellow citizens. They deserve peace, and they rightfully expect us to deliver it. Our number one job, of course, is to be strong so that we can prevent war in the first place. The president talks about it all the time. It's called peace through strength. And as history teaches us, the only people who actually deserve peace are those who are willing to wage war to defend it. That's why pacifism is so naive and dangerous. It ignores human nature and it ignores human history.
Now, I saw some people on social media say it was like a military TED Talk. To me, it sounded like it gets a little more rambunctious. He gets a little more fired up. To me, it sounded like an Amway convention where he was trying to, go out there and sell your stuff kind of thing. This was interesting, though. I pulled this. Again, this is Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressing our generals and admirals in Quantico this morning.
In many ways, this speech is about fixing decades of decay. Some of it obvious, some of it hidden. Or as the chairman has put it, we are clearing out the debris, removing the distractions, clearing the way for leaders to be leaders. You might say we're ending the war on warriors. I heard someone wrote a book about that. For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons, based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts. We've pretended that combat arms and non-combat arms are the same thing. We've weeded out so-called toxic leaders under the guise of double-blind psychology assessments, promoting risk-averse, go-along-to-get-along conformists instead. You name it, the department did it. Foolish and reckless political leaders set the wrong compass heading, and we lost our way. We became the woke department, but not anymore.
That's Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. I'll continue to monitor what's going on. Just seems like a rally the troops kind of thing, but any news pops there, we will bring it to you live on WSP. Hours away from a government shutdown, we're going live to the Capitol next on the Mark Arum Show.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Gas South Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source, this weekend at the Gas South Convention Center. Get tickets at AtlantaFranchiseShow.com.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
You've seen them, holiday decorations already up in the stores, trees, wreaths, even the big inflatables. I'm Chris Chandler. Wise Guys Pro Wash keeps my home's exterior looking great, and now my clean home will shine when they put up my holiday lights. They make it simple. Custom design, they provide the lights, install everything, and when the season's over, they pack and store it for me. First-time customers book by October 15th. Mention my name, Chris Chandler, and you'll get $100 off installation. Let Wise Guys Lights brighten your holidays this year.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story, we are less than 15 hours now away from a possible government shutdown if Congress cannot reach an agreement on a new budget. Congressional correspondent Nicole Killian says there is no indication this morning, though, that the two sides are any closer to finding common ground.
After President Trump mocked Democratic leaders in a video last night, there is little goodwill on either side, but the Senate may attempt another vote on a government funding bill before tonight's deadline.
The Republicans pushing a short-term plan that would leave most spending as is. Democrats, though, want a reversal of health care cuts that went into effect with this year's massive spending package. The White House has threatened mass layoffs and furloughs if a budget deal is not reached tonight. It is 70 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says could see a passing shower later this evening or afternoon. Otherwise, partly or cloudy skies. High may not make it 80 degrees today. We see more sunshine tomorrow. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Well, it's been a school closely scrutinized in recent years. The DeKalb County School District hosts a series of meetings starting tonight on the future of Druid Hills High.
County leaders pledged funds to modernize the district's oldest facility after a student-made video showing deplorable conditions went viral. They're now weighing the best approach to take. Some advocate for renovations to the school that's over 100 years old. Others call for a new building to be built on the same site, while still others want a new school to be relocated.
WSB Cheryl Castro reports tonight's meeting starts at 6 p.m. at Druid Hills High School. 2 more meetings scheduled in October. A 27-year-old bookstore is among several businesses in East Cobb trying to figure out the next step following a devastating fire that left most of the Village East Shopping Center with significant smoke damage. Anel Gerson owns Bookmiser on Roswell Road and says they're getting support from loyal customers.
You know, we like to think we're tiny but mighty, and we are still here.
Yeah, she says they're waiting on their insurance company to figure out what to do next with their 35,000 books. She says investigators think the weekend fire started next door to computer and cell phone repair business, possibly by a lithium-ion battery. And the Leafers will soon be headed to North Georgia for the annual Fall Color Changing Show, and the Georgia Forestry Commission says it could be a good one this year.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Ben Cobb with the Georgia Forestry Commission says he gives this year an 8, but he says Mother Nature has to be on board.
What we don't want to really see is a period of really kind of cloudy, wet weather or an extended period of warm and dry conditions. Both of those types of conditions would make for a little bit of a muted fall color season.
He says we are starting to see some colors up in the highest elevations of our state, but the best colors, he says, are expected to be mid to late October. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
It's 9:33, and as we check your money, and all major indices are pointed down here slightly. Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, all down about 1 percentage point so far. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Mike Shields.
And Judd, DOT reporting a stalled vehicle in the left lane, 285 northbound the outer loop right before Covington Highway, exit 43. Bumper-to-bumper packed in Flat Shoals, exit 48. Good news making your way through Midtown, though. Stalled vehicle that was in the second left lane, 7585 southbound just before North Avenue, has cleared. Delays remain out of Midtown, working their way down to I-20, and delays continue out of Holly Springs, 575 southbound, jammed up from Holly Springs Parkway, getting down to Town Lake Parkway. That's due to the express lane still blocked due to maintenance work. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon and evening. Today's high near 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 83. Mostly sunny on Thursday and trending cooler. Morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime high 78.
71 degrees right now in Woodstock, 70 at Palmetto, 70 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB. If you have the WSB radio app.
If you have the WSB
all
app.
the notifications you
If
need.
you have the WSB app.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
Breaking news in Cobb County.
All in one place.
We'll send out an alert on the WSB app.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it from your app store today.
If he will accept some of the things we asked, which we think the American people are for, on health care and on rescissions, he can avoid a shutdown.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, we are hours away from a possible government shutdown. We go live to Capitol Hill, 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our guaranteed offer is the easiest way to sell your home. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can bypass the market, receive the strongest all-cash offer in the industry, and close in as little as 21 days. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
The integrity this company has is amazing. They are just unbelievable, start to finish.
Meteorologist Glenn Burns loves his Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows from North Georgia Replacement Windows.
They made everything so easy. The planning, the installation was flawless, just a perfect job, and now it just made such a difference in the house.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
That was thousands of miles being added to your private radio network. With Southern Link, connect your private LMR radio system to Critical Link, our mission-critical LTE network, so you can communicate more easily with more people when the situation demands. Call 1-800-818-LINC or visit southernlink.com to learn more about our interworking solutions, mission-critical push-to-talk, and LTE voice and data services. Southern Link, pushing the limits of what's possible.
The Findlay Roofing Chief Barking Officer, Rufus, has the zoomies. He's rolling over about saving you $1,000 off your roof replacement. That's a lot of bones. Hey, it's Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Stop repairing the leaks and dragging your feet. For a limited time, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. Schedule your free roof analysis at findlayroofing.com.
9:36 on the Mark Arum Show. Last segment, we played some audio of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressing senior military officials at Quantico. President Trump now talking to the admirals and generals. Let's listen in for a second.
Over to the coast of Russia, just to be careful, because we can't let people throw around.
The news team monitoring the president's address there. Anything pops newsworthy out of the president's address, we'll bring it to you live here on WSB. Going to continue our coverage of the possible government shutdown.
You should go take a look at what they requested. $1.5 trillion in new spending that is unrelated to the ongoing appropriations process.
That's House Speaker Mike Johnson. Let's go live to D.C. CBS News Capitol Hill correspondent Torian Small. Torian, good morning as always. Thanks for your time.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Let's start logistically. The Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the Congress. Why, if they have all three branches, why are we looking at a possible government shutdown?
Yeah, current procedures, and it's, long story. This is just kind of how the Senate is set up. Don't allow for them to pass legislation without a pretty much a supermajority. They need 60 votes in the Senate for that to go forth. And considering that Republicans hold just a slight edge over Democrats in the Senate, they need Democrats to join on board for them to get it across the finish line. What we saw happen in March was that a handful of moderate Democrats joined with Republicans to get the stopgap measure through. And now that measure's funding is set to elapse, Democrats this time around are saying, no, we won't be doing it this time.
So there's no chance those same moderate Democrats will yield to the pressure at the last second and come on board again?
I mean, that's potentially an option. Leader Schumer was instrumental in giving his support, at least privately, to those moderate Democrats. He himself also voted for that measure in March. This time around, he's looking at the backlash that he got from not just members of his party, but also voters. And we reported back in March that there's a majority of Democratic voters who say they don't believe their leadership is doing enough to counter Trump's legislative agenda. And now Schumer, armed with that, is willing to fight a little bit longer than he did last time.
So they need to get 60 votes in the Senate. The Democrats are obviously asking for something, Torian, to get those 60 votes. Do we know exactly what they're asking from the administration?
Yeah, they're looking to restore funding that was previously clawed back this session. So we saw what's known as rescissions packages, which is the administration can ask for Congress to essentially reverse what was already appropriated in the last session. So with that, part of that is funding to PBS and NPR, for example, under the Public Broadcasting Corporation. That was about $1 billion that was cut from there. Other funds as well included in those decisions. But also there's this one particular thing that Democrats are latching on to, which is they're making this fight about health care. There is a tax credit as part of the American or the Affordable Care Act that's set to sunset at the end of the year. If that happens, Democrats believe that the average American can pay thousands more a year for their health care insurance unless they intervene. Democrats are saying that needs to be a part of the conversation. Republicans, however, are framing this as them trying to get health care for people in the country illegally without showing evidence or proof of that.
Torian, there was an about-face done by the president on the show yesterday. Reported he wasn't going to meet with Democratic leaders, but eventually they did meet. Can I tell from your reporting this morning that the meeting didn't go particularly well since there is no agreement in place?
Well, they went into the meeting really sharing a war of words with each other. Leader Jeffries, the Democrat in the House, called out Trump's OMB director, calling him a malignant political hack. Donald Trump himself called Democrats unserious and said they were looking to bloat up this continuing resolution with things that are unnecessary and reintroduce waste, fraud, and abuse into this. But ultimately what we saw happen was this meeting happened. There was a noticeable difference in optimism from both sides. Democrats came out of it saying that they believe there could be daylight between Donald Trump and Republican leadership, especially as they talked about some of these healthcare issues. Republicans, including Vice President Vance, came out of it saying, absolutely not. We're on the same page with the president, and he, under no circumstance, wants to change this bill as it stands. Give us 52 days, because that's how long this measure would fund the government, to negotiate what you guys consider reasonably. And then come mid-November, when the next deadline approaches, then we could talk about an appropriations bill that's more comprehensive and maybe includes more of these bipartisan issues.
Final question, Torian. When exactly is the deadline?
The deadline is tonight at midnight. So if the Senate is unable to pass a bill by then, we're looking at a government shutdown tomorrow. And I should say Leader Thune is putting the same bill that he tried to get Senate Democrats to vote for last week on the floor tonight. We'll see whether or not that passes. But Democrats are also looking at pushing their own version of the bill through unanimous consent. So they'll be watching the floor intently to see what happens.
Torian Small, CBS News, Capitol Hill. Torian, great stuff as always. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We'll monitor that, obviously, throughout the day. I mean, obviously, no one wants a government shutdown, but just hearing what Torian's saying and what we're hearing from the president and the minority leader, doesn't look like there's going to be a deal. Again, midnight tonight is the final deal. Yesterday, we had a press conference updating that horrific Michigan church shooting.
This might be a familiar pain, but it hurts all the same. Every time. We cannot keep living our lives like this.
That's Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Covering the story for CBS News is Peter Haralambous. Peter, good morning, my friend. I listened to that whole press conference yesterday. What were the big takeaways? What's the big news updates we got out of that press conference?
Yeah, thankfully at this point, authorities are saying that all the victims here are accounted for. That leaves the death toll at 4 people. At least 8 were injured in this attack, some from gunshot wounds, some from smoke inhalation. According to the local hospital, at least 2 of those victims remain in critical condition. Police are calling this a targeted attack. They're saying that this is a person who had a demonstrated kind of hatred towards the Mormon religion. A local political candidate telling ABC News as well that the shooter, 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford, even called the Mormon people, quote, the Antichrist in the days ahead of the attack.
I would imagine, in knowing that we have that on the record, that this might eventually be up to a terrorism charge or a hate crime charge. Are they done? Obviously charged because the suspect is dead, but investigation-wise?
I mean, formally at this point, if you ask law enforcement, or at least in that press conference, the motive is unknown. I mean, they're clear as day that this was an act of evil, this was an act of hatred. but they're still trying to piece together why this person, a person who his friends and family describe as largely normal, a person who went to school in the area, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, would be driven to do something like this, despite really not having that much of a connection to the Mormon faith. So I think it's still very much a mystery. Police at this point have interviewed over 100 people as part of this investigation, where they're really just trying to figure this out. In addition to this man shooting inside the church and spraying gasoline before lighting it on fire, they also found 4 improvised IEDs in his truck. So a lot of planning clearly went into this.
Yeah, there were the different levels of horror in this act, running his truck into the church, opening fire, and setting fire to the church. And that doesn't even get to the IUDs that they found.
Yeah, and in a way, it could have been much worse, despite, the clear tragedy of this. And this comes after other shootings we've seen across the country. I think back to the shooting we saw just a few weeks ago in Minnesota, where another gunman targeted a place of worship. This was an attack on around 10:30 on a Sunday morning when people are gathering with their community in church. So really, this idea of such a despicable act of violence targeting people of faith really, in a way, adds to this growing list of violent acts and baffles the mind in terms of why anyone would be motivated to do this.
Peter, you referenced the Charlie Kirk assassination in Utah, where there we are hearing that there's some level of cooperation by the suspect's family. Do we know yet in this Michigan church shooting if his friends and family are cooperating with investigators and really try to nail down a motive?
Yeah, we understand that friends and family at this point are talking with investigators. In fact, we even spoke briefly with Stanford's father. He spoke with our affiliate in Detroit. His father really just apologized to the victims, saying that he feels bad about the families who are affected by this situation, that he doesn't really understand where this might have come from, and that this surprises them as well. They're grieving alongside these victims, trying to figure out what would have driven his son, this family member, to such an act like this. But they're talking with police as they try to kind of sift through the evidence here to figure out why this might have taken place and what could have motivated it.
Yeah, just an absolutely horrific story. Peter Harlanbus, ABC News. Peter, as always, appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Mark. Take care.
Deborah, you were off yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this story. Just absolute horror. Drives his car into the church, opens fire, sets fire to the church, and then they found IUDs. Like, that's next level evil. And I said yesterday that there's probably going to be some conversations going on right now with church groups going, hey, do we need security at our churches now?
I mean, I've never, you think of, for me, I think of church as one of the safest places you can be.
Yeah.
I've never worried about stuff like this until now, with the past couple things that have been happening at churches of all faiths too.
Yeah.
And it's a little concerning on that you would even need security at stuff, but I think you're going to see more of it.
And I've seen, and I mentioned yesterday, the last 20 years, when I go to synagogue for the high holidays, there's Atlanta police outside. They are hired to provide security. I heard from some folks on social media that in local churches here, there's not necessarily security yet, but some parishioners bring guns, concealed carry permit. So there are safety nets in there, but just absolutely horrific story. We'll go back to Michigan a little bit later on in the show to get you an update there. All right, reminder, 10K a day, 5K, I want to double it. 5K a day bonus splits continues. Coming up after the 10 o'clock news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K a day bonus splits. And 11:05, if you dip out from the show, make sure you're coming back at 11:05. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. I cannot wait to talk to him again. Right now, we got some trouble on the east side perimeter, 285 delays. Here's Mike Shields.
That's right. DOT tells me stalled vehicle in the left lane, at least one left lane right now. 285 northbound, the outer loop at Covington Highway, exit 43. 5 miles of backup behind them, though, starting at Flat Hills Parkway, exit 48. On the other side of the roadway, bumper to bumper, leaving I-85, getting down the Lawrenceville Highway, Highway 29, exit 38, due to rolling roadwork in the 2 left lanes. The wide way around it is to take 85 south into the city, but 85 southbound crowds in starting at Claremont Road. The support is brought by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news.
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Oh my God!
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words. 5 times a day. Every weekday.
I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 10 a.m.
Depending on what team or teams you root for, this could have been an amazing football weekend or a tragic football weekend. No matter what your teams did, elevate your football viewing and experience with my pals at Xfinity. Unbelievable high-speed internet so you can pop up your apps on your tablet, watch the game, switch between apps, no lag time, no missing any key plays. Plus, with the Xfinity Sports app, you get in-game statistics, analysis. It's phenomenal. So win, lose, or draw. Yeah, we actually had a draw. Xfinity ups your sports watching, your football watching experience with the amazing in-home systems, the amazingly fast Wi-Fi and internet services. If you're a true football fan, you got to get on board the Xfinity family. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Tax and fees extra and subject to change. To get started, visit Xfinity.com or drop into your local Xfinity store today.
Are you coming today? Are you not coming today? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations. Are you tired of having to chase your contractors around? If you're looking to remodel the outside of your home, then have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations. You'll know exactly when we're coming, when your project's going to be complete, and what you're paying for before you even start the project. Schedule your appointment today at exovations.com. EXOVATIONS.com.
2 homes, same block. One sold for more because they used Orchard. Move first, skip the showings, and sell smart with top dollar results. Get started with a free home valuation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Wise Guys keeps my home clean. Now they'll make it shine for the holidays. Wise Guy Lights will design, install, take down, and store my lights. No stress, no contracts. First-time customers mention me, Chris Chandler. Book by October 15 to get $100 off installation.
Selling your house the traditional way takes time. Agents, showings, repairs, fees. It's a hassle. But what if you could skip it all and sell your home for cash fast? At House Buyer Network, we buy homes in any condition. No commissions, no closing costs, no cleaning, no repairs. Whether it's inherited, outdated, or you're behind on payments, we'll make you a fair cash offer within 24 hours. Close in as little as 7 days. Thousands have sold the easy way. Now it's your turn. Call 833-719-5877 for your free no-obligation cash offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Real cash, real fast. That toll-free number once again to call, 833-719-5877.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
65 years ago today, this iconic television show debuted on ABC. Vinny, what TV show?
The Flintstones.
Well done, Vinny.
No, this.
He took the vitamins.
Oh, yeah.
I did take the vitamins, yes.
You know, I need Flintstones vitamins. Here's something I didn't know, or I did and forgot. The Flintstones, I think of Flintstones, I think of Saturday morning cartoons. 65 years ago on ABC, that debuted as a primetime series.
So it was like The Simpsons of back in the day.
Yeah, like at 8 p.m. on ABC, which is pretty crazy. To have a cartoon on primetime 65 years ago on ABC. Anyway, great show.
I watched the movie, too.
I don't even think I saw the movie. It was with...
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Just stay away.
Yeah, some things are better left not touched. Significant 1-year anniversary and a big local story. Deborah, 1 year ago, what happened?
Yeah, 1 year since that biolab fire down in Rockdale, and residents still don't completely have answers about like what's going to happen or what's going on. So researchers at Morehouse School of Medicine, they're doing this 3-year study. It's going to take them 3 years to figure out the effects, like potential long-term damage from a year ago's cleanup. You know, they're still trying to get everything cleaned up too. And the Department of Public Health here in Georgia are still analyzing data. So everybody that's down there is still kind of questioning what's happening and how is this going to affect our health.
Yeah, that story far from over. 1 year ago today, the horrific biolab fire there out in Rockdale County. This is interesting because yesterday I got off the show and I was feeling under the weather. So what did I do, Longoria? I ordered McDonald's delivered to my house. I'm like, that's, chicken soup for the soul.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. McDonald's bringing back their famous Monopoly game.
McDonald's is bringing back its popular Monopoly game, but this time customers have even more chances to win. McDonald's fans can get the classic peel-away game pieces on select menu items, as well as digital game pieces when they order using the fast food chain's app. Prizes include free vacations, gift cards, an SUV, and up to $1 million cash. Monopoly returns to McDonald's on October 6th.
Now, wasn't there a scam? I think there was a documentary about the McDonald's Monopoly scam.
Yeah, there was.
Now, when it debuted in like the late 70s or early 80s, it was very easy for them. The grand prize was Boardwalk and Park Place. And so there would be 100 million Boardwalk stickers, but they'd only have one Park Place. And but then with the invention of the internet, like you could just go and search like, oh, I need St. Charles Place to finish. And then you could just buy St. Charles Place so they had to like the internet just changed. I mean, how does the internet impacted you, Aram? Well, it changed the Monopoly game at McDonald's. Yeah. But had I known, I would have waited. I mean, waited? I'm going to get McDonald's as soon as the Monopoly game. They have good prizes now. Like you can get like free sandwiches on everything. That's all. That's all I have to say about that. All right, when we come back after news, weather, and traffic, A, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. B, a crazy local story. Impact here in Metro Atlanta, the Russia-Ukraine war. How the Russia-Ukraine war is impacting a certain segment of business here in Metro Atlanta. It's a really interesting story. Thad Moore from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution will explain. Social media is active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio. Still to come, Scott Slade live and famed astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hurricane season is here, friends, and now's the time to make sure your roof is ready for whatever comes next. Hey, it's Mark Arum back with you. At Dr. Roof, they're experts at hurricane proofing your home. From inspecting shingles to reinforcing your roof structure, they make sure your home is secure before the storm hits. Don't wait until it's too late. Get a free, no-obligation roof inspection from Dr. Roof today. Get ready before the hurricane season goes into overdrive. Call Dr. Roof today.
Do you have an unused vehicle sitting in your driveway? Imagine turning it into a new beginning. When you donate your car, truck, or van to Tommy Nobis Center, you're helping people with disabilities get the training and support they need to enter the workforce and build successful careers. Your vehicle donation fuels real change, giving people a chance to achieve independence and purpose. And it's easy. We'll handle everything from pickup to paperwork. Plus, it's tax deductible. Donate today at TommyNobisCenter.org. Make a difference, one vehicle at a time.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Look, I know what's important to you when you're having some additions done to your house. You want the work done with quality workmanship, on time, within your budget, and built correctly. That's why I love Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. Getting a new deck from Ben Hill Renovations checks all the boxes. They've been building decks for over 60 years. Every project comes with a dedicated project manager and is properly built with future county and city code requirements in mind. Plus, Ben Hill Renovations Renovations offers many options, different styles, types of wood, color, and finishes. They can also build screened-in porches, outdoor living areas, multi-story wraparounds, pretty much anything you can imagine Ben Hill Renovations can do. And they're all backed by the Ben Hill Workmanship Warranty. Set up a design consultation or swing by the new Ben Hill Renovations showroom in Douglasville and talk to one of their designers or see them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing and Heating. All right, our top story today is breaking this morning. Changes in the military. The Defense Secretary making the announcement last hour.
CBS News special report. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has just declared an end to what he calls politically correct military leadership at an unusual meeting of hundreds of generals and admirals from around the world at Marine Base Quantico in Virginia.
For too long, we've promoted too many uniformed leaders for the wrong reasons, based on their race, based on gender quotas, based on historic so-called firsts.
Hegseth says basic training will once again be, quote, scary, tough, disciplined.
We are clearing out the debris, removing the distractions, clearing the way for leaders to be leaders. You might say we're ending the war on warriors.
If military leaders don't like his new approach, the Secretary of War says they should do the honorable thing and resign. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
All right, so your weather for today. It's going to be cloudy. A few showers and storms are possible. Headed for an afternoon high around 80. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. In Cobb County, police are providing details this morning about the arrest of 4 shoplifting suspects who created a dangerous situation for the public when they fled the Cumberland Mall area at high speed, sometimes driving in oncoming traffic and at times going twice the posted speed limit. Police used a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle and take the 4 men into custody. 2 of the 4 already had outstanding warrants for previous incidents. All 4, ranging in age from 49 to 58, facing several felony charges. The DeKalb County School District hosting a series of meetings starting tonight on the future of Druid Hills High School. County leaders pledged funds to modernize the district's oldest facility after a student-made video showing deplorable conditions went viral. They're now weighing the best approach to take. Some advocate for renovations to the school that's over 100 years old. Others call for a new building to be built on the same site, while still others want a new school to be relocated. And WSB Cheryl Castro reports that tonight's meeting will start at 6 o'clock at Druid Hills High School. 2 more meetings are set for October. A popular PBS show is coming back almost 20 years after airing its last episode.
Take a look, it's in a book, a Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow will be coming back with new episodes on October 4th. It was canceled in 2006 because of financial and logistical reasons. The episodes will air on YouTube and also be available on readingrainbow.org. Well, it looks like more and more that the government will shut down.
I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
And that is Vice President J.D. Vance. Top Republicans and Democrats sat down with President Trump to try to hammer out an agreement to a short-term deal. The Vice President and House Speaker Mike Johnson came out of that meeting on Monday saying that Democrats seem set on a shutdown. Democrats say that they are drawing a line in the sand to stop a Republican assault on the health care of the American people. The government will partially shut down Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. Eastern if no deal can be reached. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow is currently up at 30 at 46,346. NASDAQ is down slightly, so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
My friends in Cherokee County have had a rough go of it this morning, all because we lost the express lane entrance in from Sixes Road on 575 South all morning long. And now DOT reporting a crash in the left lane around Ridgewalk Parkway, though things are moving a little bit better below that once you head through Woodstock. And 285 southbound, slow at times through Tucker with a rolling road closure at times in the left lane and a crash in 2 left lanes. 285 south past Covington Highway. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and rumbles of thunder. Today's high near 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 83. Thursday, sunny and breezy with morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime high 78.
We have 71 degrees in Johns Creek and Peachtree City. Sugar Hill, you have 70 degrees. We'll have more news at 10:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:04, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Thank the Lord, the Core 4 with us. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Down South Vinny screens your calls. Coming up in mere minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance for you in $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. 30 minutes from now, Scott Slade live on technology that might be instituted in Georgia prisons and jails that would jam cell phones so prisoners wouldn't be able to use cell phones. And 11:05, so excited to have him back live on the show, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's coming to Atlanta, I believe, this weekend for one of his amazing lectures. He's going to join us live at 11 o'clock. I want to talk about a local story here now. Obviously, for over 3 years, we've been covering the Russia-Ukraine war on the Mark Arum Show and the impact here in Georgia, right? We have Ukrainian refugees that live here, large Russian and Ukrainian populations. But I saw a story on AJC.com that really raised some eyebrows on how widespread the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war is, specifically to a financial segment of the metro Atlanta area. The author of the piece on AJC.com joining us live, Thad Moore from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Thad, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So I don't want to misspeak. For the folks that haven't read your article, I'm going to post the link to it. I've been teasing that, the Russia-Ukraine war impacting the real estate market here in Metro Atlanta. Explain to the listener exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure. So this story was a joint investigation that the AJC did with the Post and Courier newspaper in South Carolina and the Russian news outlet iStories. And what we were looking at is a number of properties that were purchased over a number of years, all the way from Virginia Highland up to Alpharetta, by a Russian banker named Sergei Hotemsky through LLCs that he set up here. And the question was, Mr. Hotemsky is a prominent banker in Russia. It's obviously a very sensitive and government-connected industry. And he was sanctioned about a month after the full scale of Ukraine began. And our question was, what's going on with those properties? Because if he's sanctioned, it's illegal for all of those businesses to be paying rent. This is like a real problem. And what we learned is that the properties had actually been quietly transferred to his ex-wife as part of a divorce agreement, and the timing happened to wrap up around the time a few weeks before he was sanctioned. But what we really learned is that it's extraordinarily difficult, or it can be extraordinarily difficult, to track down who really owns what, not only in Atlanta but really across the U.S., which is a real concern when you're dealing with thousands of individuals in Russia who have been sanctioned, and obviously, big sums of money flowing around Atlanta and the country.
Yeah, according to your reporting, pronounce his name for me again so I don't butcher it.
Yeah, sure. And I'm not sure that I'm doing much better, but Sergei Hotemsky.
Hotemsky spent more than $37 million in property in Metro Atlanta. What are some of these properties? Is that available? Is that public record?
Yeah, sure, and not all of them are still owned by. Well, obviously, he's divested of them, and his ex-wife doesn't own all of them anymore either. But we're talking about, a Starbucks in Alpharetta, not the Starbucks itself, but the building it's in. We're talking about the building that Neighbors Pub in Virginia Highland is in. We're talking about what used to be Dennis Schroeder, the Hawks first rounder, his nightclub in Buckhead. He was a tenant. So it's really kind of a grab bag. And what's so striking to me is it's not, flashy condos or, big office towers or anything like that. It's, it's just neighborhood spots that you could very easily have gone to and had no idea.
So the tenants that currently operate in these buildings owned by his ex-wife, are they left without, a contact? Can if they have an issue with the property, can they contact his ex-wife? Is she a hands-on landlord?
Yeah. So I mean, the actual work of being a landlord is run through like a property management company in town. So I think they're able to get their needs addressed, as far as I know. But there is some question about, did they know who ultimately they were paying rent to? They just sort of knew that they were paying rent to an LLC. Spoke with the owner of Neighbors Pub in Virginia Highland, and he talked about he saw a segment on TV about Russian sanctions, and he'd met his landlord, and he said, "Well, that's kind of, I should check into that because I'm pretty sure I'm paying rent to a Russian banker." And there he is. He's on the sanctions list. And it took him months and thousands of dollars in legal fees just to learn who he was really paying rent to, because there's no disclosure requirement in the U.S. for who owns corporations and thereby who owns real estate.
Pretty crazy. Thad Moore from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Now, if the property wasn't transferred before the sanctions began and sent to his ex-wife, if he still owned those properties and he was under U.S. sanctions, would that affect the properties themselves and who owned them?
Yeah, so it doesn't actually affect who owns them. He would have continued to own them, but they would have been frozen, which means it would have been illegal for anyone to do anything with them. It would have been technically illegal to mow the grass, much less pay rent. Now, there are ways, when we spoke with a number of former Treasury officials about this, they said, look, in a situation like this, it gets really complicated really quickly, as you can imagine. The government would have sort of given special permission to, let's say, Neighbors Pub or to Starbucks to continue to pay rent. It probably would have gone into escrow. But it would have caused quite a few headaches, to put it mildly.
Do we know if this is a one-off, or do you think there might be more Russian investment of properties here in Metro Atlanta?
It's a great question, and I don't have a great answer to you. That's just sort of an area that our reporting didn't fully get into. But I think the reason it's hard to give you an answer is, frankly, that there's just such little information about who owns what. It took us really months to get to the bottom of what happened here. And if you think about, all of the buildings that there are from Atlanta to Alpharetta, that's a lot of ground to cover. And I think that speaks also to the challenge that our government and sanctioning authorities face as they try to implement our foreign policy and our response to the war in Ukraine.
Thad, really interesting stuff. If you have any updates on the story, we'd love to have you back on the show, my friend.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate your highlighting our work.
Yeah, no, great work. Great stuff, as always. AJC.com. I'll tweet out a link for that. Imagine you got a Russian landlord, and then they get sanctioned. In my mind, I'd be like, oh, maybe I get free rent. I don't have to pay rent at all. All right, I'm going to actually, Vinny's going to give you, I got to save my voice. Vinny, slide in here. Let's do the 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance to win $1,000. Vinny, take it away.
It's the 5K a day bonus blitz. The 10 a.m. keyword is thrill. THRILL. Enter the keyword thrill into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword and win $1,000. The keyword is thrill. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. It could be us telling you you won $1,000.
Good job, Vinny. Thank you. Any effort, Deborah, I can. You weren't here yesterday. I was like, Vinny, you got to come in and
yeah, have Vince do it.
Yeah, Vinny, we have to pay Vinny by the word. So that was a costly endeavor, but anything to save my voice. Thrill is the keyword, THRILL. All right, government shutdown, midnight tonight. We talked to Torian Small from CBS last half hour on Capitol Hill. Deborah, the government shutdown obviously going to impact military families if this happens, et cetera, but it also could impact our travel plans. Explain for me.
All right, so TSA agents are the ones that would be affected the most. Now, they're saying if the government does shut down, TSA workers will continue to be at airport checkpoints, and they'll continue to work, but without pay. And the same thing goes for air traffic controllers. They will continue to work, but they will not be paid. Now, they're saying this will not affect any commercial flights or trains. None of that stuff should be canceled, but the people there working will continue to work without pay.
If let's say hypothetically, Longo, that there was a WSB radio.
I'm already saying no.
WSB radio. No, just think about this.
Yes.
WSB radio shut down for whatever. Schumer and the president couldn't come. Schumer and Ken Charles couldn't come to an agreement.
Right.
They couldn't fund the station. But you are the air traffic controller of this radio show, and they're and Ken is like, you're essential. You're not getting paid, but you got to come to work. I know you're stoic. You would do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking you wouldn't put as much effort in.
No.
Knowing that you're working. Well, eventually they get. You know,
but you don't get like extra pay because you let them have that money for like an extra 2 weeks.
So, you'd be sitting in here doing your job going, well, I'm not going to give it 100% effort. That's my worry about air traffic controllers. Like, they're like, son of a biscuit, I'm not getting paid now. Are they going to do 100%?
That's just human, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to. You don't want to not do extra work if you're not getting paid for it.
All right, we'll update the meeting between Ken Charles and Chuck Schumer throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. I do want to update the crazy story again. This is too many of these we're having to talk about and deal with. The church shooting in Michigan. CNN's I want to get her name right. Lee Waldman. Outside the church, updating that horrific story.
We're hearing more about who he was leading up to this attack on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here in Grand Blanc Township. His best friend talking to the New York Times saying that his time in the Marine Corps changed him from a class clown to a more serious person, and talked about the time that he spent living in Utah and some former drug use in his life. That was echoed in a conversation that we had with a man who is running for city council in a nearby community, a community that the suspected gunman Thomas Jacob Sanford actually lived in. This councilman candidate, Chris Johns, we spoke to him, and he actually spoke to Sanford less than a week before this attack happened. And he said right away, Sanford told him about his time in the military and about his issues with drug use in the past. But he said that part of the conversation, Sarah, was only just a few minutes. Quickly, Sanford turned the conversation asking some pointed questions, one about John's views on guns and one about his views on the LDS community. Take a listen to some of the rhetoric that he used.
He did make the statement that Mormons are the Antichrist, which is a shocking statement. And again, this is somebody you're just meeting for the first time. There was anger. I mean, it was a long-standing anger that I'm speculating, but what he did took planning. It also took real motivation and real anger to ultimately do what he did.
And with that, he said in the conversation that nothing raised a red flag where he felt the need to report it. But John said, looking back now at what happened there, the person behind it, he says he's spoken now to the FBI. He's spoken now to the state police to give them any information to help in their investigation that's ongoing to determine a motive behind this excruciating attack. And I believe we have some new images from drone footage of that church just down the road from where we are. You can see the devastation that's there. An ATF crew, a specialized crew, is working through that debris, hoping to uncover any details, any information about this devastating attack.
And again, just like the Catholic school shooting in Minneapolis, the Charlie Kirk assassination, and now the investigation's still ongoing. But one of his coworkers or friends, the suspect who's now dead, apparently had a bad breakup with a girl that was a member of the Mormon Church 10 years ago. And was that the impetus for his hatred of the Mormon Church? I mean, just a god-awful story. But that was Lee Waldman from CNN Live in Michigan this morning on that. All right, when we come back, we're going to update our top local stories. 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Keyword is thrill, THRILL. Pop that into the WSB Radio app before 10:30, and you can win $1,000 here on WSB Radio. Let's check the ride around town. Hello and good morning to the incomparable Ashley Frasco.
Hey there, Mark. We've got road work set up in the left lanes on 285 southbound below Covington Highway, so you're going to see some interloop delays there. And they've been on and off trying to decide whether or not to set up on 285 at Flat Shoals. And I do see big delays now rolling eastbound over from Boulder Crest, and still really slow through Holly Springs on 575 southbound. They never opened that express lane entrance below 6's Road this morning. Traffic brought to you by ParkWiz. Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster, ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app and save when you park. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Well, will the United States government be open or shut? When you wake up with Atlanta's Morning News starting at 5 on Wednesday. Either way, we'll cover what it means for you and me. Join us on 95.5 WSB.
Want to save 1,000 bones on your next roof? Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Right now, save $1,000 on your roof replacement. Hurry, this treat ends on Halloween. FindlayRoofing.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Looking for your next great adventure? At Capital Investment Advisors, we know travel isn't just a vacation. It's a core pursuit that fuels happiness. In fact, research shows happy retirees pursue nearly twice as many adventure-related core pursuits as unhappy retirees. That's why we created 101 trips to take in retirement, a free guide with luxury escapes, wellness retreats, cultural immersions, and trips for the grandkids. Download your copy today at yourwealth.com/101 trips.
If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to kick those critters out. With the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if they return, you're covered at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Join renowned astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson for This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe, at the Fox Theater Sunday, October 5th at 4 p.m. The title says it all. Join Neil deGrasse Tyson as he explores discoveries from the past 2 or 3 years of cosmic research, with topics handpicked for their impact on science and the public's fascination with this ever-moving frontier. Don't miss This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe, with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Sunday, October 5th. Tickets available at foxtheater.org.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000, and the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
Is your home football season ready? I'm not talking about snacks and game schedules. This is Scott Slade. I'm talking about being comfortable. If your heating and air system needs some attention, I recommend you call the company I've trusted for years, Ragsdale. These are great people, many with the company 10, 20, even 30 years. They are so good they fix minor problems for me like a small drain clog, but they're also ready to tackle any big problems, so I know I'm in good hands. And if you're ready for a new Carrier home comfort system like mine, right now you can get up to $1,700 off. Plus, you'll enjoy Ragsdale's trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty on your new system. This isn't a third-party warranty. This is Ragsdale's own warranty that's completely bonded with the state of Georgia at no extra charge to you. With over 10,000 five-star reviews, you can trust Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too, all under one roof. It's easy to schedule your next visit at ragsdaleair.com or give one of their friendly customer service reps a call. Remember this name, Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
Chances are, 'cause I wear a silly grin.
Happy 90th birthday, Johnny Mathis. All those old school crooners live long, like Tony Bennett, and 90 years old, still with us, Johnny Mathis. President Trump's still going. He's been talking to military officials at Quantico for almost an hour now. Let's dip in real quick.
To have the Middle East done, which is actually a much harder thing to do. I mean, thousands of years, but we have to get that war done. So now
So President Trump was on teleprompter at the beginning. I think he is now off cuff. But we'll monitor that and bring it to you. This is a story. This could have impacted Eric Erickson, who you hear noon to 3 here on WSB. It involves a McDonald's in Macon, Georgia, Bibb County, I believe, Deborah. What the heck happened there?
Well, an alligator was found at the Rocky Creek Road near the McDonald's parking lot in Macon. And this thing was 12 feet long, and it was just kind of hanging out there for a couple days near the drive-thru. And I don't think it was really bothering people, but a lot of people started to come and take pictures, of course, and they were kind of worried that something else would happen. So finally, the sheriff's department came in. They got a local trapper to get it, and now it is in a private pond down in Lawrence County.
Were people just chucking them nuggets?
It does say a lot of people were gathering to take photos, so probably.
What would you give? What would be the best item to give an alligator at McDonald's?
Big Mac.
No, I think filet of fish, right? Don't they for lunch?
They get fish all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Here's a worker at the McDonald's down Macon Way.
We have an alligator that's been here for 2 days. It's not going to be the first alligator. It's not going to be the last. But I think the alligator is hungry. I think it's hungry.
Well, we know that.
That's amazing. I should have wrapped that up in the McDonald's Monopoly story, but be careful. I think I knew there were alligators in Macon. If there are alligators in Decatur or Tucker, I'm out. I'm moving up north. I can't deal with them. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. Scott Slade joins us live next. 5K Day bonus blitz. Keyword is thrill, THRILL. You got 3 minutes. Good luck.
Have mystery stains on your carpet? Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, clean more, save more, and save up to $30. Mention WSB to secure this deal today. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, it's the right way to clean.
It's happening, guys. Your hair's thinning, the crown's disappearing. Hair loss might have you feeling you've lost your identity. It's Mark Arum here. Thankfully, there's Advanced Hair Simple One-Day Treatment. You decide how much, how thick, and where. It's your own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day, and it's guaranteed to grow for life. I've seen Advanced Hair's incredible results with my own eyes. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 470-660-HAIR or AdvancedHair.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? but I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. We are just hours away now from a possible government shutdown with both parties far from a deal. Rachel Scott is following from Capitol Hill.
If the government shuts down, as many as 4 million federal employees could go without a paycheck. 2 million troops could be forced to work without pay, leaving military families in limbo.
We're not talking about faceless humans in a faraway office.
Heather Campbell's husband is a major in the Air Force in Alabama.
We're talking about men and women and moms and dads and grandparents and sisters and uncles, and they want to show up and they want to do a good job and they want to be honest, hardworking Americans. And they're getting caught in the middle of this political rhetoric.
She worries about making ends meet for their 3 kids.
And to Virginia now, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth telling hundreds of military officials that there will be an end to politically correct leadership in the military here in the United States. Charlie Daggett breaking it down.
He mentioned 10 directives. It has to do with combat readiness. He was big on fitness. He said no more fatties, his words. Even in the Pentagon, up to the general level, there will be a fitness test, and that is a gender-neutral fitness test. He went into grooming. There'll be no more beards anymore. In his words, no more beardos.
Hegseth says promotion guidelines will be based on merit and not, quote, woke principles, and that anyone in the military who disagrees with his new directives should resign. Your weather, cloudy skies, a few rain showers and storms throughout the afternoon and evening, highs around 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Hurricane Imelda is following behind Hurricane Umberto as it moves west of Bermuda. Meteorologist Craig Allen says Imelda will impact the coast of the U.S.
Swells generated by the hurricane are going to be affecting the Bahamas, and they're spreading over much of the U.S. coast as well between these two systems that are out there. So they are likely to cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions, not only for portions of the lower coastline of the eastern seaboard, but definitely out across Bermuda.
And, of course, we asked WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards about our weather here. She says the tropical weather won't impact us very much at all, just a few showers possible today and this evening. While he sees potential problems for his industry this year, the CEO of Atlanta-based Delta Airlines, Ed Bastian, predicts better skies for his airline and a main rival.
The Delta chief executive said expensive premium seats and resurging business travel will allow Delta and United to make the majority of the industry's profits. But beyond that, Bastian expects most U.S. airlines to lose money this year. The Delta CEO pointed to a difficult environment at the lower end of consumer spending. He spoke at an event with Fed Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 55 at 46,261. NASDAQ also down slightly, so is the S&P. Live team coverage of traffic and weather, and it starts with Ashley Frasca in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Traffic trooper Chris told me about a crash, and they quickly got it out of the left lanes on 400 southbound past Haynes Bridge. Just a tap of the brakes there, and rolling roadblocks as they're working maybe in a left lane. 285 southbound headed past Lawrenceville Highway, so that inner loop ride out of Tucker has been slow at times. They were also holding all lanes for construction crews. 285 eastbound, that may be intermittent between Boulder Crest and Flat Shoals. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon and evening. Today's high near 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 83. Mostly sunny on Thursday and trending cooler. Morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime high 78.
73 degrees in Tucker. It's 71 in Jefferson. Milton, you have 72 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
Online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Oh my God! The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app. The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
Your next chance to win is at 12 p.m.
Beyond the security problem locally in Quantico, this puts an awful lot of pressure on the security requirements back in those respective commands.
Military analyst Jeff McCausland as we monitor the big military conference at Quantico. Coming up next, though, Scott Slade joins us live 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60-plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is Amco Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in Amco just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to Amco.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned Amco near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Fall is a busy time and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
There's a girl trying to steal my heart and I'm tempted.
Happy 67th birthday, country singer Marty Stewart. Tempted here among one of his many, many hits. If memory serves, at some point in the legendary career of Scott Slade, you were on music radio. Was it country? Was it pop? Was it rock, Scott? What did you do?
All of it.
All of it?
Yeah.
Did you spin some Marty Stewart by any chance?
Oh, gosh, man. My first job, excuse me. My first job was in Griffin, Georgia.
Yeah.
Playing 45 RPM country records on a daytime radio station over a pharmacy in downtown Griffin. And, Conway Twitty's Hello, Darling was a hit.
Oh, wow.
That year, 1970.
Now, did you have complete autonomy when it came to what 45s you spun, or was there a music director at that station in Griffin that told you what to play?
Somebody did it. They just left a stack of 45 RPM records on a spindle. And they said, hey, just play through them.
That's awesome.
I went, okay, all right. I didn't know that much about country music, but I learned pretty quick. They also had some crossover back then. Bobby Gentry was a big deal in that era. And Dolly was still singing with Porter Wagner back in those days.
What about Live from Folsom? Did you spin that at that station in Griffin?
That was 1970. So When did Johnny Cash go to Folsom to do that concert?
I know. I was just trying to segue into what we're going to talk about prisons.
Okay.
Because obviously, you know, that legendary album Live from Folsom, Johnny Cash performing at a prison. And we're going to discuss prisons here. Really interesting story impacting prisoners, jailers, and guards here in the state of Georgia, Scott.
Yeah, indeed. And it has to do with jamming cell phones. You know, I've been talking with Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr for years about this issue. And it goes back to an interview I did with the commissioner of the Georgia Department of Corrections over a decade ago when I asked him what one thing would help you do your job better. And remember, this is more than 10 years ago. He didn't hesitate. He said, give us the ability to jam cell phone signals in prisons and jails. It'll keep everybody safer. Attorney General Carr was not available this morning to talk to us about this, but Mark, I do have some archive sound with him from over a year ago, right after he filed a letter with a dozen other attorneys general with the FCC asking for the authority to jam signals. He heartily agreed that that's the thing we ought to do.
We know we have a problem with cell phones in prisons, and it isn't for lack of trying to confiscate them. But as the commissioner said a decade ago, law enforcement will tell you today, you want to do one thing to stop violent crime and scams in the United States of America, give the state the authority to jam cell phones in prisons and jails. And that's what we're asking them to do.
It has to be a federal matter, right? And because of that, what comes under the Communications Act or some other federal law?
That's right. I mean, Scott, this goes back to a law that was actually enacted in the 1930s that had to do with radio waves well before there were ever cell phones. Fast forward, the statute was updated in the 90s, as I understand it, before cell phones were used for contraband purposes. But the bottom line is we have the Federal Communications Commission standing in the way of local and state law enforcement officials stopping violent crime. We had a case in Georgia, Scott, where a hit was directed from inside the Georgia Department of Corrections. The individuals went to the wrong house, and an 88-year-old veteran was murdered. We've seen cases in North Carolina, all over the country. And again, this is a situation where we need the federal government to be partners with us, not standing in the way of what is the fundamental job of government, and that is to keep people safe.
Now, Mark, that was a year ago, and Attorney General Carr and the others attorneys general did not get much traction at all with the FCC during the Biden administration. But lately, they are getting somewhere during the Trump administration with Chairman Brendan Carr and the current FCC. In fact, in the past few days, the FCC has said they're supporting they're leading out, they're actually transmitting a notice of proposed rulemaking that would allow state and local law enforcement to use jamming technology to combat contraband cell phones in prisons and jails. And as you heard, there's a lot at stake here. How many cell phones do you think that Georgia prison authorities alone confiscated in the last year?
I'm going to say 50-ish.
Just last year, the Georgia Department of Corrections seized and processed over 15,500 cell phones.
My God, can we buy them? Do they put them on eBay? Hey, confiscated cell phone. Now, Scott, I mean, obviously I've talked about this story over the years. Great archive audio there. And I'm all for it. My only concern was, and maybe I'm just not well versed enough in the technology of it all, is if you jam those cell phones at a prison or a jail, it also obviously impacts the guards. And could that limit their capability in distress to get help if something breaks out in the prison?
That's a good question, and they will likely use two-way radios just to get around that. I mean, they won't use cell phones, and they'll have their own proprietary communication system. And as far as leakage outside the prison walls, well, they solved that problem a long time ago. By that, I mean, impacting maybe 911 services a few blocks away from a prison, that sort of thing. The feds are using that technology now, and in fact, they're using it at a federal facility here in Georgia to jam cell phones. So it's been done. As I understand, the Secret Service uses it regularly. But this really is the first step. The proposed rulemaking would empower correctional administrators to implement those jamming systems. And and the reason this is timely, Mark, is the FCC is going to vote today on whether or not this notice of proposed rulemaking moves forward. Now, that sounds pretty technical because it kind of is, but that's the way they do it. You know, they do it in several steps. And one of the first things they'll do once they say, okay, we'll take the next step, is they'll open it up for public comment, and people will be able to weigh in on either side. But, you know, when you have people like Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt in Veronica Waters' story, story this morning, saying that cell phones and drones jockey for number one on his list of dangers. It's kind of hard to say, well, you know what, I got a big problem with this, but we'll see.
Yeah, and speaking of drones, a lot of those drones are dropping off the cell phones, the contraband inside prisons. Let's just hope you and I never have the need a cell phone while in prison, that you and I are never in the hooscow locked up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so happy to see this move forward because this is something I've been following for more than a dozen years.
Yeah, no doubt. And it reminds me of a
sense.
series I just binge watched on Netflix, I believe, called Hightown. And there was, don't watch it, Scott. It's not a Scott Slade show. But there's a lot of scenes in the prison, and the cell phones were everywhere. If the prisoner needed a cell phone, they were able to get one. I mean, it's 50,000 confiscated.
15,500 in 1 year in Georgia. Yeah, well, that's still a lot. That's a lot in 1 year.
I would think that because I know when there's like a lost luggage auction that Hartsfield does every year where they just, unclaimed luggage, they should, the Department of Corrections should just have a confiscated cell phone auction. That's a lot cheaper than buying a $15,000 iPhone. You just get a confiscated phone. Good stuff, Scott. Hey, what's coming up on Thursday on Scott Slade's Georgia?
Oh, let's see. Well, we'll take you inside what is perennially rated the best haunted house in America, and it's an easy drive from downtown Atlanta.
Ooh, all right. I'll be listening. Scott Slade, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Mark, same here. Thanks.
All right, buddy. We'll be listening to Scott Slade's Georgia Thursday morning on Atlanta's Morning News. All right, when we come back after a quick break, new tariffs? Yes, looking at new tariffs. We'll join Bloomberg News live after a quick break and a check of the traffic on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm saying it's beautiful. I really don't know if it's beautiful outside. Is the traffic beautiful, though, Ashley Frasca?
It's tolerable. It's certainly better than it was this morning. Now, new trouble on the west side perimeter, 285 southbound, right at the I-20 ramps. You're on the brakes coming down from the Chattahoochee River below South Cobb Drive, and they're switching up the construction over on the east side perimeter. They're on the left shoulder now. They were in the left lanes, 285 south before Glenwood Road, but they've got a left lane blocked northbound in that same area. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
This is Scott Slade, and if your heating and air system needs some attention to make your home comfortable for football season, call the company I've trusted for years, Ragsdale. These are great people, many with the company 10, 20, even 30 years. And if you're ready for a new Carrier home comfort system, right now you can get up to $1,700 off. Plus, you'll enjoy Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. With over 10,000 five-star reviews, you can trust Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation, too. Click RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale is the name I know you can trust.
Hey, folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights, at home or at work. We'll make your happy place your own. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here. At Ben Hill Renovations, deck building goes on year-round. Whether your existing deck is old, rotting, and unsafe, or you just want to upgrade your outdoor living space, now is the perfect time to get the ball rolling. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com. Better yet, go to their showroom, speak with the designer, and see all that they have to offer up close. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
So if this works out, we'll have 8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that.
President Trump addressing the troops at Marine Corps Base Quantico, saying that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for ending 8 wars. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Speaking of President Trump, yesterday announcing a new round of tariffs, covering the story from London. Joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, Bloomberg News and Trade Czar, Brendan Murray. Brendan, good morning. Thanks so much for your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're the first czar, by the way, that I've ever had on the show in 28 years. So this is high stuff for me, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just one of those job titles that they throw around as kind of a joke.
I love it. All right. What I don't love is some of the tariffs that have been coming our way. The latest tariffs yesterday, President Trump ordered 10% tariffs on imports of softwood, timber, and lumber, as well as 25% levies on kitchen cabinets, vanities, and upholstered wood products. Where did this come from?
Yeah, well, this was part of a series of industry-specific tariffs that the president launched investigations into a couple of months ago. He's done the same thing with copper. He's done the same thing with steel and aluminum. And there are other tariffs coming for semiconductors, heavy trucks, and a number of other industries that the president feels needs the protection of tariffs. So the softwood timber and lumber tariffs, the 10% that you mentioned, that's largely aimed at Canadian imports. Those that excess supply from Canada comes in to the U.S. at a low rate, according to American lumber mills, and they need some protection against those. And then we've heard the president talk a lot about the broad use of tariffs hitting entire countries' imports, but he's focusing very sharply on industries like the one in North Carolina that makes kitchen cabinets and furniture.
Brandon, we're here in Atlanta, the birthplace of the Home Depot. Obviously, a huge financial juggernaut here in the Metro Atlanta area. Could these tariffs impact what is being sold and bought at Home Depots or Lowe's around the country?
Well, sure. I mean, the domestic price of lumber would theoretically go up here. That if tariffs restrict supply of lumber coming in from foreign sources, then domestic producers are just going to raise their costs. And companies, no matter your Home Depot or anybody else, they don't like to eat the costs of extra taxes, so they tend to pass those on to consumers.
Now, we're still awaiting, right, the Supreme Court to rule on the legality of President Trump offering these unilateral tariffs. Until we get that decision, do these new lumber and wood tariffs take place immediately? Is there a timeline? When could consumers see this go into effect?
They kick in on October 14th. The lumber, the timber, and wood products tariffs kick in 2 weeks, and then the Supreme Court hears the case on the reciprocal tariffs, these universal tariffs that you mentioned, sometime in November. So the thinking is that if the Supreme Court strikes down those big, broad country-by-country tariffs that the president has imposed, then he can fall back on these industry tariffs, these sectoral ones, the ones on copper and timber and chips and pharmaceuticals and those kinds of things. So there's kind of a backup plan here, and these sectoral tariffs, these industry tariffs like the lumber ones, have already been legally tested. So if you want to sue the government because of these, good luck with that, because you're not going to. The Supreme Court has already kind of weighed in on the president's authority to use these kinds of tariffs that are based on national security reasons, and which Congress has delegated that authority to the executive branch.
Bloomberg News trade czar Brandon Murray in London. Brandon, thanks so much for your time, my friend.
Thanks.
There you go. The trade czar. I like that. I want to be a talk show czar. Speaking of tariffs, we've been covering it here on the show. Tariffs are hitting American farmers really, really heavy, specifically soybean farmers. Officially a crisis now, Deborah.
So China is the world's largest soybean buyer. Like 60% of all U.S. soy would go to China. But there are these new tariffs, so China's not buying from American farmers, and they're really hurting. They're now looking at South America, particularly Brazil, to get all of their soy. And farmers, of course, are going to lose money from sales, but there's also so much storage they can do. Like, you can't hold on to that product too long because it'll also have spoilage. Now, the president thought, or he kind of stated or hinted around that, with these tariffs, he might be able to use some of that money to give relief to the farmers, but there's no plan that's really been put into place to see if that'll happen.
A bailout, a farmer's bailout. Now, I know in Japan, fermented soybeans are a thing. It's called natto, N-A-T-T-O. I've never eaten it. It smells and looks awful, but I know it's very popular. Is there some way, can you ferment soy to make liquor, right? Is there a possibility that we can come up with something else to
I don't
to
know,
use
but
these
I
soybeans?
mean, I suppose you could make liquor. You use soy for a lot of different projects. Like there's soy candles and there's soy cleaning, burning thing that use fuel, all kinds of stuff that you can do with soy. But somebody needs to have that process already to buy the product.
Yeah, but they're calling it a crisis now for America's soybean farmers. China just not buying the soybeans that we thought they would buy. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic. And when we come back, very excited, Neil deGrasse Tyson live next on The Mark Arum Show.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
This is Greg Trusinski from the Original Mattress Factory. I want to share the story of a couple I worked with recently. After receiving a quote from a competitor for a mattress, they visited OMF and found a mattress that was a great fit for them. They were so pleased with our quality and value that they ended up purchasing 2 mattresses, a box spring, headboard, and frame. Their total at OMF was roughly $400 less than what they would have spent on just the one mattress at the competitor. If you're ready to get better sleep for less, visit us at originalmattress.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA
MCO.
Get a head start on holiday home prep with help from Zerorez. It's Patrick, owner of Zerorez. Getting all of those neglected stains out doesn't require chemicals and harsh soaps. No way. ZR Water technology gets your carpets cleaner and lasts longer. Save up to $30. The more rooms you clean, the more you save. Mention WSB to secure this deal or book online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our Zerorez commercial cleaning too. Zerorez. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. Our top story, President Trump addressing the military this morning.
There could be no higher honor than to serve as your commander-in-chief. It is a great honor. I look at you, just incredible people.
The president spoke after Secretary of War Pete Hegseth tells hundreds of military officials that there will be an end to politically correct leadership in the U.S. military. He also said that promotion guidelines will be based on merit, not woke principles.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses. No more climate change worship. No more division, distraction, or gender delusions. No more debris.
He went on to say anyone in the military who disagrees with his new directives should resign. Your weather for today, cloudy skies, a few rain showers and storms through the afternoon and evening hours, highs around 80, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Well, U.S. airlines are warning that a government shutdown could cause flight delays for airports and travelers. The airlines are warning Congress that if the government shuts down at midnight Wednesday, flights could be delayed as air traffic controllers and TSA employees would be required to work without pay. The looming shutdown comes as the nation already faces a shortage of about 3,000 air traffic controllers. In Cobb County, police providing details today about the arrest of 4 shoplifting suspects who created a dangerous situation for the public when they fled from the Cumberland Mall area at high speed, sometimes driving on the wrong side of the road and at times going twice the posted speed limit. Police used a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle, take the 4 men into custody. All of the 4 already had outstanding warrants for previous incidents, 2 of them, I should say. All 4, though, range in age from 49 to 58. They face several felony charges. This is new at 11 o'clock. A much-discussed rezoning request by a Decatur cemetery goes before the DeKalb County Commission for a vote this afternoon.
Washington Memorial Gardens has served the Scottdale area of Decatur for almost 80 years. Earlier this year, co-owner Timothy Amui had this to say about efforts to add a crematory and funeral home.
We're a 35-acre cemetery. It's a beautiful memorial park, so we're just looking to convert the existing office building to enable those services as well.
After neighbors expressed strong reservations about the crematory, that part of the plan was scrapped, but the effort to repurpose an existing on-site building as a funeral home is ongoing, and it received support from the Planning Commission earlier this month. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
This This is also new at 11. We are getting word that President Trump is set to announce a direct-to-consumer drug buying website. It's called Trump RX today. That's according to the Wall Street Journal, which cited sources familiar with the matter. The president also announcing a deal with Pfizer to lower drug prices. With Trump RX, Americans would be able to purchase certain drugs at a discounted price negotiated by the government. The president has been pushing drug companies to bring down prices here in the United States. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is down 102 at 46,213. NASDAQ is up, but only slightly, and the S&P is in the red. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Right now we are watching the full forces of the roadwork on the east side perimeter. You got a left lane block 285 both north and southbound right at Glenwood Road, exit number 44. Now on 285 southbound, the inner loop back up in the Clarkston area, passing Highway 78 down toward East Ponce. You had the rolling construction. That's in the left lane, so just a big mess over there on that east side perimeter. Be aware if you got to travel there. 285 southbound, the outer loop over on the west side just cleared up some traffic pacing below Hotherwell Parkway, so delays from South Cobb drivers starting to improve. And we're still watching some volume in the Midtown southbound on 400 starting just south of Lenox Road. Stay sluggish, just waves of volume making your way down to North Avenue. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and rumbles of thunder. Today's high near 80. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 83. Thursday, sunny and breezy with morning lows in the upper 50s. Daytime high 78.
It is 75 degrees in Canton. Sandy Springs has 73. Buford, you have 72 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
11:04 on this extremely busy Newsday Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon, 30 minutes from right now. Deborah's got some tickets to give away, an amazing prize pack, and in 1 hour, I will give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Monitoring big stuff in D.C., the possibility, the clock ticking of a government shutdown deadline at midnight tonight. Any updates on that, we'll provide them for you live throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Honored to have joining us for the second time on the Mark Arum Show, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Dr. Tyson, good morning. As always, thanks so much for your time.
Good morning. Happy to be on with you.
Before I pepper you with my inane questions, the headline here is you are coming back to Atlanta this Sunday at the fabulous Fox Theater. This Just In is the name of this tour. What might folks expect this Sunday at the fabulous Fox?
So that is definitely true. It's a fabulous theater. I don't know who might not have ever been there yet in town, but I love it. It's got, old world charm and modern technologies, and it's right there in the middle of town. So I'm really looking forward to returning to Atlanta. The title, by the way, I've been there many times, each one a different topic, selected by the theater. Because I'm not on a tour in the normal sense where you're selling something. Of course, I always have books you can buy. Mm-hmm. There's always a book you can buy. But that's not the point. I give them a list of a dozen possible topics. They pick one. This year, they picked This Just In, latest discoveries in the universe. So if you haven't been looking up the last 24 months, I'm going to catch you up on all the things that have been going bump in the night.
I am fascinated with all things space, and so the algorithms on social media, they know what to throw in front of me all the time. And the latest thing that's been popping up, actually in the last just couple of days, it's sped up, is 31 Atlas stories. What's your take on 31 Atlas? And for the folks that aren't nerds like me, can you explain to them what it is or what it might be?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we've gone the whole history of, modern astrophysics, studying objects in our solar system. That would be planets, moons, asteroids, comets, that sort of thing, our star. And then with telescopes, we look at other stars and across the universe. Fine. But we had always suspected there might be a population of objects wandering through interstellar space. And so we've been on the lookout for that for the longest time, and the telescopes weren't good enough, and we weren't looking everywhere. And several years back, we discovered the first such object. It's an interloper visiting our solar system, and 31 Atlas is the third such object to be discovered just in the last several years. We would expect more to show up as well. There's a lot of buzz about it because it has properties we don't really understand. It does, it's doing things that don't match what our expectations are. But you would expect that. You'd expect it to not match our expectations if it came from another place in the galaxy. All right? We set our expectations based on all the things we study in our backyard. And if something's different from that, that's exciting. So, yeah, there are some people speculating they're like aliens and things, but you have to be careful. Just because you don't understand what something is doing doesn't mean it's aliens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether that's your first thought or whether it's lower down on your list of explanations.
And and to be honest, Doctor, there's so much we do not yet understand about the universe that that 31 Atlas could be a million things that we have never thought of and will never think of. So, but I thought it's interesting that all of a sudden I'm getting peppered with these stories about 31 Atlas related to that interstellar travel. In your humble opinion, do you think we should be focusing more of our time, effort, energy, money to more focused on our solar system, or should we be looking grander and thinking, James Webb Telescope and what's going on outside our solar system? What do you think is a better source of resources?
Yeah, I'm not one to set priorities. I'm not that guy, because every place we put our amazing instruments, be they microscopes, telescopes, particle accelerators, rovers, we discover something new. And something new about our universe is always interesting. And history has shown that ultimately somebody figures out how to make a buck off of it. And so I don't want to prioritize one aspect of cosmic discovery over another. And even as an astrophysicist, I don't want to prioritize astrophysics over some other branch of science. All science, if you're an enlightened country with enlightened governance and enlightened spending priorities, you would look at all the frontiers and fund them. Because if you don't, then, we might as well just move back to the cave, where everything that we don't understand is the mysterious actions of gremlins and goblins in the night.
In the 21st century, I mentioned the James Webb Telescope. Is that the most significant thing that humanity's done when it comes to trying to find out more about the universe?
No, so we have James Webb Space Telescope is first a different part of the spectrum that it's studying in the universe than the Hubble. So each telescope is tuned with specific tasks in mind. And so just keep that in mind. So there's a telescope, several telescopes coming online right now that are ground-based. One of them is called the Rubin Telescope, named after Vera Rubin, who is one of the discoverers of dark matter in our galaxy. She died a few years ago. That telescope is actually going to take multiple images of the night sky every single night. And when you stitch it together, it becomes a movie. It'll be the first ever movie of our night sky. And why is that important? Because if something moves, you will immediately identify it. Think about it. Before that, as an astrophysicist, I go to the telescope, I take a picture of something, and then I take the picture home and analyze it. If something was moving, I wouldn't know. It would just be a dot of light on me, because they're not moving so fast that it streaks, right? So this is another way of obtaining data on the universe, and we expect that to double the number of known asteroids in the next few years. The 200 years of asteroid data collecting, this will double that number in just a few years. So that's another frontier. Yes, we should do it all.
And it's ground-based, you said.
And that one's ground-based.
Wow.
That's correct. So the ground and space and rovers and telescopes, they each have their role. And by the way, not all telescopes use visible light. Some look at gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, infrared. The James Webb is an infrared telescope fundamentally. And so we learned, it was a major realization, that our eyes are insufficient to receive all the information that the universe is generating. I mean, think about how disappointing that must have been. By the way, the microscope sort of settled that one. Oh my gosh, in this drop of pond water, there are tiny little, what they call animalcules. The original discoverer of them called them animalcules, like doing the backstroke, amoeba, paramecia, things your eye can't see. The telescope sees things your eye can't see. So these instruments of science, and especially of astrophysics, bring the universe to us in ways our senses could have never obtained. And therein is the moving frontier of discovery.
Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson joining us live on the Mark Arum Show in Atlanta this Sunday, Fox Theater. Tickets online at foxtheater.org. I've been, and the listeners are like, I talk about space too much, but specifically this aspect of it, colonizing Mars. My producer this morning sent me a story about a moon village, and I'm sitting here. I'm all for space exploration, but in the back of my mind is like, what do all these people know that we don't know? That they're like, hey, we got to get the hell off this planet ASAP. Am I just a worry wart, or is there some sort of urgency to get off this planet as soon as possible?
Yeah. So if all the billionaires say we're going to Mars,
yeah, exactly.
No, I don't. It's not that bad. So first, you're not going to live on Mars unless you terraform it. Okay. Which is my favorite word of the last 30 years. You turn whatever Mars was or is into something that's like Earth. And then you can step off your spaceship and breathe the air. Otherwise, you have to wear a spacesuit, go into a HAB module, and then are you really on Mars at that point? You'll feel the lower gravity, but you're not really on Mars. So I can see Mars as a vacation destination, a tourist attraction. But if you want to go there and set up condos, no, that's not happening. Okay. So, if you're worried that maybe we have to escape Earth because we're about to trash the environment or because an asteroid is going to come, my rebuttal to that is, if we have the power of geoengineering to turn Mars into Earth, then we have the power of geoengineering to turn Earth back into Earth.
Oh.
So whatever we do to Earth's environment, to the life, to the atmosphere, just fix it. There. What's so hard about that? And let's say there's a killer asteroid. There are people say we got to put humans in more than one planet so that not only eggs are in one basket in case a killer asteroid comes. My point there is, whatever it takes to terraform Mars and ship 1 billion people there, I'm thinking it's easier to deflect that asteroid that's coming your way.
Interesting.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I think while it makes a fun headline, all right, multi-planet species, I think in practical terms, it's not how we would actually go about solving those problems. I would love to visit the moon and Mars on a holiday, but I'd be coming back to Earth afterwards.
Same, absolutely same. Speaking of headlines, I saw this headline today, and this goes beyond my capabilities of deductive reasoning. Is our universe trapped in a black hole? That was the headline. I can't even comprehend that.
Yeah, so I have a short video from my podcast, my Star Talk podcast, where I address that. It's called "What's Up with That?" Every now and then I post a 10-minute "What's Up with That?" where you've seen a headline and you want to get behind it. So if anyone wants to see the full 10-minute version of what I'm about to tell you, it turns out the bigger a black hole is, the less dense the average density of the matter inside of it is. So we think of black holes as compressing you and you get squashed. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the whole universe and ask, what would a black hole be like if it was the size of the universe? It would have about the matter density that we have. A. B, we have a horizon beyond which we cannot see. That's analogous to a black hole's horizon. Yes. And so there are these, things that make you go, right? And if you run the equations of what happens in a black hole, what happens, and no one's ever tested this, but the equations that give you the black hole can take you inside. And if you follow those equations, inside a black hole, a whole new space-time opens up in front of you. And you leave the space-time you just came from behind, never to return to it again. So at least the math allows every black hole to have an entire universe inside of it.
All right, that's
So-
mind-blowing. But you broke it down for me, so I actually understand what you're talking about. That's crazy.
Yeah, we should all have our mind blown at least once a week.
Yeah.
That's my rule.
Final question for you, unrelated. I see your content is amazing, and I follow you in the podcast and all that. But people jack like videos of you doing interviews and post them on separate pages. Do you get compensated in any way by those?
So at beginning this month or beginning October, we're going to have an entire company that we're retaining to look into all of those cases. And some of it is just their fans that are enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And so they grab fun stuff and they post it and have the energy to sift through all the content. There's been some AI fakes that have
Yes,
gone up
yes.
that have me endorsing. So some of those have been brought down. Others will be found, okay, because we're about to go on a full court press on this beginning tomorrow. And so tomorrow's October 1st. Yeah,
Yes.
beginning tomorrow. So, yeah, and for those who have monetized the reposting of our content, the courteous thing to do would, by the way, I don't want to squash fan energy, right? So there are ways around it where there's a fee, they pay a fee, but they would still be having been rewarded for going through the effort, because often you can take just me rattling on and they put what they call B-roll behind it, which is just sort of stock video footage that helps animate just the drone of my voice, and that takes some effort. And I want, I don't want to punish that. I want to celebrate that, but it should be done legally.
Yeah, I saw I would assumed an AI video of you endorsing the Frisco Melt sandwich at Hardee's, and I was like, oh, interesting. I don't know if that was real or fake, but
thanks for the answer is no.
Yeah.
I don't endorse anything ever, and so because I've never endorsed a product, that makes those easy to catch.
Yeah, indeed.
Right? Many celebrities, a big part of their between movie income is endorsing products. So if they get AI, it's way harder for the viewer. They get deep fake AI, way harder for the viewer to keep up with that. But no, I hope you knew.
I did.
That I'm not advertising.
It's a good sandwich, though. The Frisco Breakfast Melt is a good sandwich. Doctor, I'm so excited you're coming to town this Sunday,
One
Fox
last thing.
Theater. Yes, sir.
A quick last thing.
Yeah.
There's some deepfakes that are just fun and obvious parody. Like there's one where I was babyfied, and I'm in conversation with what's that comedian's name? He's got a mullet. He's very like trailer park.
Oh, Theo Vaughn.
But Theo Vaughn.
Yeah.
I was on his podcast, and so someone took both of us, turned us into babies, and it's our exact dialogue, but spoken by babies, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's parody, and that's that should be protected, and so, but it's obviously parody. No one's like, Neil, were you really a baby when you said no? No one is thinking that. Okay. So, yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Listen, can't wait. Tickets online, foxtheater.org. When you're there, before or after the show, tell the Fox Theater handlers that you want to check out the marbled Mark Arum bathroom at the Fabulous. It's VIP, my personal marbled bathroom, but I'm going to grant you access, my friend, this weekend.
I've never been instructed to inspect a bathroom before. Thank you for that.
It's one of the mysteries of the universe, is the Mark Arum marbled bathroom at the Fabulous Fox. Great stuff, as always, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. We're late for this check of traffic. Straight to the traffic center, and Alex Williams.
Got a double work zone on the east side, Mark 285 both north and southbound, and Glenwood Road exit 44, left lane blocked in both directions there. Now over on the west side perimeter, we also have a crash in the left lane 285 southbound, the outer loop before Hollowell Parkway, slowing you back up toward South Atlanta Road. Traffic brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Your favorite songs shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Let's see. It's still hot out, but football is back. That makes this September. Dave Baker here. Coolray says you can stay comfortable and watch football. They're offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete carrier system. And you know proper installation is important. It's like a sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. Call or go online at Coolray.com to book your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the portfolio x-ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The portfolio x-ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the portfolio x-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the portfolio x-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Nobody likes a dingy smell. I mean, have you ever seen a candle with the scent dingy? I didn't think so. So avoid that dingy smell with help from the air duct cleaning experts at Zerorez. When dirt, dust, and allergens collect in your ducts, your air starts to stink. But Zerorez is a breath of fresh air. Plus, right now, if you mention WSB, you get up to $75 off your next duct cleaning. Schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com and ask about our commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
I did not know I could donate real estate too. I have none to donate though. Went along with Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Quick break here. When we come back after news, weather, and traffic, Deborah's got tickets to give away, and we'll revisit our conversation from earlier in the program with new gubernatorial candidate and current Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. That's coming up next on the Mark Arum Show.
Strange noises in your attic? Those critters are not leaving without a fight. The Breda Wildlife Guarantee keeps you protected at no additional cost.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000, and the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
Now, it's your time to make more money and be your own boss. Come to the Franchise Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Gas South Convention Center to meet with the best money-making franchises. Learn how you can open a successful business. This life-changing event is your only chance to see all the hottest money-making opportunities in one place. Find the perfect business for you at the Franchise Show, presented by the Entrepreneur's Source, this weekend at the Gas South Convention Center. Get tickets at atlantafranchiseshow.com.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals at a fishing pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay. In St. Pete, Clearwater, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Your Florida escape begins at visitspc.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. So far, no deal, and it's looking more and more like a government shutdown. U.S. airlines are warning that a shutdown could cause flight delays for airports and travelers. Michael Kastner has more.
The airlines are warning Congress that if the government shuts down at midnight Wednesday, flights could be delayed as air traffic controllers and TSA employees would be required to work without pay. According to reporting from Reuters, absences among controllers and security checkpoint workers rose after employees began skipping work when they were not getting paid during the last government shutdown in 2019, which lasted for 35 days.
And the looming shutdown comes as the nation is already facing a shortage of some 3,000 air traffic controllers. All right, so your weather for today, cloudy skies, a few rain showers throughout the afternoon and evening, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Your afternoon high right there around 80. She says some of the winds could be gusting up to 20 miles an hour today. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. Now to DeKalb County. The school officials there are weighing the future of the district's oldest facility after years of community debate.
Druid Hills High School has been in the spotlight since a student-made video showing crumbling conditions went viral, showing things like exposed wires and leaks. Shortly afterward, county leaders pledged funding to modernize the school built in 1927. They're considering a number of options, including renovations, building a new school on the same site, or moving it to a different site.
And WSB Cheryl Castro reports that tonight's meeting will start at 6 o'clock at Druid Hills High School. 2 more meetings are scheduled in October. While he sees potential problems for his industry this year, the CEO of Atlanta-based Delta Airlines is predicting better skies for the airline and a main rival.
The Delta chief executive said expensive premium seats and resurging business travel will allow Delta and United to make the majority of the industry's profits. But beyond that, Bastian expects most U.S. airlines to lose money this year. The Delta CEO pointed to a difficult environment at the lower end of consumer spending. He spoke at an event with Fed Bank of Atlanta President Raphael Bostic. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Are you wondering what's going to show up at your door this Halloween? Deborah Rodriguez has a look at the popular costumes expected this year.
Surprise! Costume stores have stocked plenty of Wednesday outfits for Addams Family fans. Lots of K-pop demons are expected to be on the hunt for candy, too.
I was a ghost, I was alone.
Some trick-or-treaters will take inspiration from another Asian import. Furry Labubu dolls. And the Minecraft movie craze will be fully represented.
Chicken jockey!
Because you have to have a wicked witch or two.
Elphaba, they're coming for you.
Stores say Galinda and Elphaba costumes are already flying off the shelf.
All right, let's take a look at your money. The Dow right now is down 162 at 46,153. NASDAQ also down slightly, and so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. How are we doing on the roads?
Travel advisory right now out of Midtown. Unfortunately, Sabrina, it's a crash. 85 northbound, just north of 17th Street, exit number 251. 2 left lanes are blocked, and it's quickly slowing you back toward Freedom Parkway. Think about Peachtree Street, Northside Drive. Some alternates there. Still got left lane trouble on the west side perimeter. 285 southbound, the outer loop before you get to Hollowell Parkway, exit 12. That's causing the brake lights from South Cobb Drive, and construction in the left lane both ways into Cobb County, 285 north and southbound, and Glenwood Road, exit 44. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies today with a few rain showers and thunderstorms rolling through this afternoon and evening. Today's high near 80, lows tonight in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 83. Mostly sunny on Thursday and trending cooler. Morning lows in the upper 50s, daytime high 78.
It is mostly cloudy and 74 in Duluth, 74 in Vinings. Roswell also has mostly cloudy skies and 74 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
The latest incident comes when a SWAT team is called after a suspect.
Your 24/7 news
They
source.
had no ties to a gang.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
We should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military.
President Trump discussing the use of National Guard troops here as he addressed our military leaders. We'll continue to monitor that story. Coming up next, though, Deborah's got tickets to give away, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger next on the Mark Arum Show.
Fall is a busy time, and selling your home can be overwhelming. Get a guaranteed cash offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. With Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer, you can receive the strongest cash offer in the industry and move when you're ready. Mark Spain Real Estate has more than 13,000 five-star reviews, so you can trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home quickly and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. I've been in banking for over 30 years, and my team and I know that businesses have the best results when they work with local bankers who know the Atlanta market. Bankers who will work to understand your business operations and bring good ideas to the table. At Ameris Bank, we do that. I invite you to reach out so we can start a conversation. Visit amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Do you have an unused vehicle sitting in your driveway? Imagine turning it into a new beginning. When you donate your car, truck, or van to Tommy Nobis Center, you're helping people with disabilities get the training and support they need to enter the workforce and build successful careers. Your vehicle donation fuels real change, giving people a chance to achieve independence and purpose. And it's easy. We'll handle everything from pickup to paperwork. Plus, it's tax deductible. Donate today at TommyNobisCenter.org. Make a difference, one vehicle at a time.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health, and I think it's real important to talk about what is most likely to kill you.
Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, and the older we get, the more prevalent it is. But you can reduce your risk. Eat right, don't smoke, exercise, and be informed about what's going on in your own body. Like lots of potentially serious health problems, if you catch heart disease early, you vastly increase your chances of living a longer life. And that's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease. Other scans, including brain and full body, are available too. Virtual imaging is locally owned and operated in Atlanta for over 15 years, so they can make you this terrific offer. A complimentary heart scan for you and your spouse with a few minimum requirements. So don't put this off. I've done it. Call Virtual Imaging today for your free heart scan. 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-7226. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
11:37 on the Mark Arum Show. I apologize for the way I sound, but I had to be here. Such a great show. Great stuff there earlier with Scott Slade, Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Thad Moore from the AJC, live to D.C. We've been around the gambit today, and I am under the weather, which allows me to have Deborah back in the fray after 2 days off to tell us what prize pack we had. Because I did it yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right. So the pressure's on you, Deborah.
All right, we got tickets to see Ronnie Chieng and Hassan Minhaj at the Fox Theater on October 11th.
All right, so Vinny, we'll do easy peasy, Vinny. Eighth caller to 404-872-0750. Eighth caller to 404-872-0750. You want a pair of tickets to see those two amazing performers at the fabulous Fox Theater. Do not ask, though, to check out the special marbled Mark Arum bathroom upstairs at the fabulous. That's just for me and Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't forget, coming up in 30 minutes, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. Right now, though, brand new gubernatorial candidate and current Secretary of State of the state of Georgia, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. Secretary, good morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Mark.
I want to get into, as folks that listen to WSB know, you are now a gubernatorial candidate in addition to the sitting Secretary of State. But, everyone listening knows of you and knows who you are. But in doing my research, I was like, well, I didn't really know much about you before your political career. Fascinating story from birth to Secretary of State of Georgia to now running for governor. Tell the folks listening what you did prior to politics.
I was in the construction business. I'm a licensed structural engineer, civil engineer, and contractor. We built a company called Tendon Systems. We did post-tension concrete structures, structural restoration, carbon fiber strengthening, so historical preservation, and then building new buildings, working with contractors like Holder Construction, Brasfield and Gorey, J.E. Dunn, and then working with concrete contractors. So we had about 150 employees and did up to 750 jobs a year, all through the Southeast and a few into the Midwest and some of the other parts. But mostly we were, Georgia and close Southeast-based contractor. That's kind of what we did.
I know, Secretary. Here. I know you're humble, so I'm going to say it for you. Wildly successful in the private sector. I mean, built an empire, literally built an empire. With so much success in the private sector, when did you decide to go into politics, and why did you decide to go into politics?
I ran for office in Johns Creek to be on city council. It was a new council. The first wave had come through, and I guess I was part of the second wave. And how do you improve where you live little bit by little bit and still run a business? And so I did that. And a few years later, I ran for the State House. And that's another thing you can do as a business owner, because there's 3 months there, but the rest of the year is off. It's never fully off, obviously, but you can still run a company. Bit by bit, my son Kyle was taking over more and more of the management of the company. So I ran for Secretary of State, made him the president. He did an awesome job. And this has been my full-time gig for the last 8 years. And just continue to work hard on licensing reform, obviously election improvements. It's now the safest place to vote in the entire country. You don't have to take my word for it. Fox News, on election night said Georgia and Florida run the best election in the entire country. He's half right. Georgia runs the best elections in the entire country. It's safe. photo ID for all forms of voting. So we've just been looking at how do we improve the process for corporations, professional licensing, securities and charities, and obviously elections. So I'm an engineer and I'm a problem solver and I like solving problems. I'm running for governor to make sure that our state stays affordable and safe for Georgia families.
Secretary, was politics always on your radar going back to college? Did you think, someday, or did that develop later in life?
Oh, I think we always talk about watch what goes up in Washington, D.C., and it's probably been a mess for so many years. Every once in a while, things, smooth out, and all of a sudden someone upsets the cart again, and, someone's got to put all the marbles back into the bag. And so that's kind of what they're trying to figure out right now. But when you're a business owner, you got to run your business. You have 250 families that are, that you have that responsibility. They're really counting on you to get it right. And so this is your main focus. But as you have the opportunity to really delegate that responsibility to a great team, then you have more time to really dedicate to public service. And this is what I do now. It's fun because when I think about where we are in Georgia, we're in a great position compared to so many other states. Governor Kemp's done just a fantastic job. If you look at the headwinds that he's had to put up with or had to really deal with, we had COVID, and then he had administration that didn't always see eye to eye. And he still somehow, Georgia's been very successful. So my focus is just continue on the success that we've had and then lean into, some of these new trends we're seeing, such as really reshoring American manufacturing back to America. It's going to be, for us in Georgia, it's going to be advanced manufacturing. We have to have a value-added twist to it so it creates great-paying jobs. Great-paying jobs solve so many issues for so many people because another big issue we have right now is affordability. And things never seem to go down in price, so we have to get incomes up. And you do that with really value-added industries. So we're very strong in fintech, very strong in aerospace. That's our number one export. Just look at other opportunities. And so that's what really will motivate me. And obviously, public safety. I live in one of the safest cities in the state, if not the country. I think everyone should have that opportunity to live in a safe community with safe schools.
I'm not a historian, Secretary, but just looking at your term as Secretary of State, it had to be at least one of the most trying ever in the state of Georgia. A lot of stuff thrown at you. I would imagine wrapping up this latest term, you'd be like, all right, I'm worn out. I'm done with politics. But no, you decided to kick it up the next level and run for governor.
Yeah, I'm just getting started. Because what we've done is we've earned the trust of the voters of Georgia. Over 94% from a UGA poll showed that they trusted the election results. And in the world of working with people in holding elected office, trust is the real gold standard. When people trust you, they trust what your motives are, what you're really trying to build, then they're going to really give you, the approval to go ahead and let's do this. Let's try and let's further improve our state of Georgia. Let's bring more manufacturing back here, advanced manufacturing. Let's leverage already the existing things we have. For example, right now we have so many people that have PhDs in medical research are really strong in that. How do we leverage that? As we reshore manufacturing back in really the medical industry, high tech in that, then obviously you're going to see more, in the whole, the IT space.
Governor, Governor. Oh, I already preemptively calling you Governor. Secretary, excuse me. If memory serves correctly, you had the biggest margin of victory in the last election, which leads to me, you had a lot of crossovers from independents and Democrats. Are you expecting more support from the other side of the aisle in this gubernatorial race?
Well, I'm in a primary right now, and let there be no doubt, I am a conservative Republican. Always have been. Always will be. I think I was probably born that way. But I've always believed in hard work, but also I believe when people work hard that there should be a reward for that. My dad taught me that. He wanted to make sure that his guys in the construction business, he didn't mind paying people, very well when they worked hard. And he always built a strong team, in his business. And so I've got that philosophy that I think that hard work should be rewarded. I think ingenuity, that's the American spirit. And it always has been because people built huge empires. much larger than anything we've ever done. And I just salute those people. And so you really want people to have great opportunity. And I think we lean into that. And I think that's a conservative philosophy. I think that's something. And I also think public safety, I think honoring really the mission of our founders that we had laid out in 1776 is really important. So I really believe in the whole concept. I'm an elected public servant, and I want to give back to the people of Georgia.
There's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger earlier on the show. If you missed the entire interview, Longoria is going to post the podcast directly after the show. Congrats to Paul in Mayretta. He won a pair of tickets to see Ronnie Chang and Hassan Minhaj at the Fox Theater on October 11th. Don't forget, keyword in the 5K Day bonus splits, your next chance to win $1,000 coming right after the new news here on WSB. Straight back live to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Where are the current hotspots now, Alex Williams?
Well, got some better news for those traveling northbound on the connector toward and beyond Midtown. Crash 85 northbound past the 75-85 split north of 17th Street. And it is cleared. Everything is back open, so those brake lights back toward Freedom Parkway should start to improve. Still got this trouble in West Atlanta in the left lane, 20 eastbound Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, exit 53. Brake lights there back toward Holmes Drive. And looks like new trouble in Gwinnett, 85 northbound up around Beaver Ruin Road. Yep, just found that crash. It's in two left lanes, already stacking you up back toward Jimmy Carter Boulevard, Buford Highway, a good way around that. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
This might help, young man. This might cure what ails you.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I run a stupid little radio show. I don't care. Have fun.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
Your friend, Eric Von Hessler, the common sense host.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
Let me teach you some physics. In a great big wind, the bigger and flatter the object, the more force the wind creates. Surface area times the square of the hypotenuse times wind speed divided by E equals MC squared, or some kind of math. Doesn't matter. But when storm season hits, your garage door is just standing there waiting for wind and physics to break it or dent it or send the whole thing flying down the street. And that, my friends, is science. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Modern wind-rated doors are built to withstand the forces of nature. Composite materials are stronger than the cheap old aluminum door that came with your house. And the tracks and rollers won't bend under the stress. It keeps your car safe and your insurance premiums low. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're ready. And stay in school, kids.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
This is Mike Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers.
And this is Jonathan Geller. Dad, we're celebrating 86 years in Atlanta this month, and people are always asking how you've kept our prices so low.
Well, I haven't bought a new suit since 1982.
I don't think that's it.
We go straight to the source. Diamonds, jewelry, gemstones. There's no better value than D. Geller & Son.
In Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the costs of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows you're
Just a smile on my face hearing that. 43 years ago today, this sitcom debuted on NBC. Vinny, what sitcom is this?
Happy Days.
It was Happy Days when this show came on. The show is Cheers, Vinny. Cheers. Great show. That's one of the best intros. By the way, don't go to the Cheers bar in Boston. If you ever
Is it not worth it?
No, it's
Really?
a tourist trap. No, it's horrible.
Just to take a photo?
Yeah, don't do it. Well, I mean, if you want to take a photo outside, but it's tchotchkes inside, it's not worth it.
Nobody Norm sitting there.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a tourist trap. Like the first ever Wiener Schnitzel that Longoria worked at in Corpus.
They got that statue outside for you to take pictures
But it's a
of.
tourist trap. It's a tourist trap. Deborah, we've had such a busy show. I didn't get to this big local story. Let's close with this. 2 theme parks here in Metro Atlanta are shutting down.
Yeah, 2 of the smaller theme parks are closing this weekend. So Sunday is your last day to go if you'd like to. Mount Asia Marietta, which is off of Barrett Parkway, and then Malibu Norcross, and that's near the Gwinnett Mall up there. These have both been open for more than 30 years, and they're kind of called family fun centers. They're supposed to be like other activities for families to do rather than scroll on Facebook all day or something. But they've been bought out by another company, and their whole thing is they're trying to streamline operations, whatever it is. But these things have like golf, go-karts, bumper boats,
No, I've been to the
arcades.
Malibu one, but I'd never heard of the one on Barrett Parkway. What was that again?
That is Mount Asia Marietta.
Have you heard? You're in Cobb County. Have you ever?
I've never even seen that one.
Yeah, I've been to the Malibu Norcross one
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
All right, so this is a lesson. This is a lesson for small business owners. You got to advertise on WSB Radio.
It's a good point.
I've been here almost 30 years. I've never heard of Mount Asia.
Neither have I. I live probably by
Exactly. That's bad marketing. It might have been a wonderful experience, but you got to get the word out.
Well, Sunday's your last day to go, so go this couple days and check it out.
Mount Asia.
Mount Asia Marietta.
Yeah. Have you ever been to there's different nerds for everything, right? There's a Lego nerd, a baseball.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a go-kart nerd?
No.
It's a special
I
breed
like
of nerd.
go-karting, but never that extreme.
Where they have their own helmets and
no.
that's a special. I mean, I'm not judging. We're all nerds about something, but go-kart nerds, that's a special classification of nerd.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today's National Chewing Gum Day, and it's ancient with a 9,000-year-old piece of birch bark was found in Europe. Mayans used to chew Natural resin to stay hydrated and fight hunger. Chewing gum stimulates saliva production, which can prevent tooth decay and may even help with memory and stress.
I can't remember the last time I bought a pack of gum.
The girls have a lot of gum. So there's
Yeah, it's
plenty
more
gum.
of a kid's
plethora
endeavor.
of gum at the Longoria household.
I always have gum in my
Do you?
bag, just in case
I
you
have
eat
mints.
something, you know.
Altoids, mints, gummies.
That's Von Hessler.
Edibles. Those are edibles.
Yeah, edible. No, but yeah, national chewing. Oh, I forgot to ask Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson this. I saw a video on social media that we are living in a
simulation.
Simulation.
Yeah.
And the only way to prevent it from getting sucked out of the simulation is you have to swallow gum, because there's no way to. If you have gum in your belly, you can't get yanked. I don't know.
Wow, that's a new
I
one.
know. I wasn't going to ask him that, but I saw, that's how crazy things are on social media. Anyway, good job, Longo.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
Oh, Deborah, off Friday and Monday. We missed you, my friend. Holy smokes. Deborah's back. She gets a star of the show. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. Good stuff from him. Torian Small from CBS News joined us live in D.C., monitoring the government shutdown. A big story that the news team's going to follow throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Thad Moore from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution on Russian property owner in Metro Atlanta under sanctions, sold or gave all his properties to his ex-wife. Just a crazy story. I put the link up on my Twitter page. But Thad Moore from the AJC. Scott Slade joined us live. Brendan Murray, the trade czar from Bloomberg News on new tariffs. Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I came in when I shouldn't have. Should I get a star of the show for trying to get everyone sick?
I did send you that story about how it's not good to come in sick anymore.
Yeah. All right. No for me. Yes for Longo. Yes for Vinny. And Peter Haralambous. All right. I may or may not be here tomorrow, but I'll be active on social media as I take an Epsom salt bath. Is that a thing? I just made it up. Social media is Mark Arum, MarkArum. Don't go anywhere. Right after the new news, I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K day bonus blitz. Another chance to win $1,000 coming up in minutes. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
Oh, you see